Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Ball knower for sure. Definitely one of the OG ball knowers as well in the media. But yeah, he called it BS that Robert Spillane claimed that the Chargers players were confused by what the Patriots were doing defensively.
So, again,
called him a liar.
yeah,
Should be offended.
okay. What is he calling BS?
That he thought that the Patriots didn't do anything creative or
that doesn't mean a
exotic.
player didn't tell
That was my point.
Spillane that.
Yeah, I agreed.
Right.
Because you said that he called Spillane a liar.
Right.
Right?
He's
Yeah,
not
I
lying.
think
That
he
to
did.
me, I'm with Fred.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can be with Fred.
I don't think he's
I think he
lying.
called him a liar.
Somebody
we don't
told-
need to argue about the semantics.
No,
of it. We really don't.
Because, no, that's his opinion.
Well, he's wrong.
Okay, but that doesn't make him a liar.
Well, it does because the film is the film. There's
There's no way to interpret film differently.
not really. Like
Okay.
if you know what you're watching.
You're using the word liar in the wrong way. That's
Well, I would say Greg Cosella is now
If-
lying. I happened to see the Spillane quote before I watched the tape. I thought that's BS. I think that's a lot of garbage.
not the quote, but the fact that they were confused.
Did anybody know? I didn't want to belabor it because I thought it already had gone on too long. But when Evan actually read the tweet, the word liar was never used.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Tuesday here at Gillette Stadium. The Patriots are on the way to the AFC Championship, having beaten a really good team in the what's the name of them? The
Houston Texans.
I was going to
So
call
good
them,
you forgot
I was
the
about to call them the Texas Rangers. But yeah, so I mean, here we are going to the AFC Championship. Unbelievable. That was a wild game. We knew the Texans had a good defense, but the Patriots are overmatched on the front line. They were overmatched for much of that game, and it led to a white knuckler for most of the game. But here we are. It's Evan,
That's
it's
our
Paul,
accents,
it's Deuce, it's me, it's Alex, and
your
Matt
knuckles white?
in the booth. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about this game that we just watched? A lot, I guess,
No.
right?
Unbelievable. Just, the Patriots defense, to me, I got to give them flowers first because they've just been outstanding. I mean, and going back and grinding some of the tape yesterday, I was so impressed by both defenses. And, to really see the Texans, how they were billed all week as such a good defense. And then to really see it on tape with those guys, how they click, they get downhill, they wrap up, they tackle with aggression. I mean, toe. He sees it, he goes. They're all good. I mean, there's just no real weak links.
It's playoffs and it's defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you need in the playoffs,
Playoffs. Defense wins,
Yep.
hopefully championships. But
So luckily the Patriots have one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at some point, maybe the Patriots defense will get talked about like some of these other great defenses do.
Oh, here we
but
go.
My guess is that probably won't happen again because Jared Stidham and that of it all. So maybe in the Super Bowl, if they win the Super Bowl, then we can talk about the Patriots having a good defense. But they've just been outstanding. I mean, they've given up one touchdown drive in 24 possessions in the playoffs.
quick change, short
yeah,
field.
it's a 27-yard touchdown drive off a turnover by the Patriots offense, which I'm sure we'll get to. And I just think what's so remarkable about what they've done is they've completely flipped their formula on its head. So during the regular season, they were playing all this soft zone on first and second down. They're giving up a lot of yards on first down, especially. And then on third down, they were pretty good, and they were getting into some of their man coverages and being more aggressive and that sort of thing. But it was a lot of bend, don't break, don't give up the big plays, don't get beat that way. And now in the playoffs, first down has become an aggressive down for them. They're playing a lot more man, they're blitzing a lot more, and they're trying to win first down. And then on second and third down, they're kind of winning more with structure than with scheme. So it's totally flipped on its head what they did in the regular season. So that mix has really worked for this personnel because they're getting teams into second and third and long by winning first down consistently. So it's been really cool to see how Zach Core has kind of rose to this occasion and really, I think, left no doubt about his standing of the defensive coordinator if Terrell Williams doesn't return next year. He's been terrific. The players have been terrific as well.
Yeah. Good point. Do you think that this flipping the script is something where they went into the place saying, listen, this is what we did the regular season. People know we did this. We have to do something different so that we're not predictable. Or is it just something that, you would think, well, being aggressive is something you should always do if you can do it, if you can get away with it. So why didn't they do it in the regular season as much?
Yeah, I think there's an element of that, and I think we saw flashes of them, sending. I remember, I forget what game it was, like Carlton Davis coming on a blitz on, first down and got burned.
Oh yeah,
maybe
every team does that,
So there has
from
been
time to time. But
but
in terms of percentages, Evan's right. It's a wholesale change.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is, when you're going up against the Cam Wards and the Dylan Gabriels and the Spencer Rattlers.
Just don't blow it.
Right. Like sending all this pressure and doing all these things on first down. Those teams are not going to be able to sustain drives. They're not going to be able to consistently drive the field on you time and time again. It's the playoffs. These are better teams. They're better quarterbacks. Although the two guys they've played haven't played like it. They are better quarterbacks than what you've faced. And so now I think the real sort of unearthing of this plan of what they had in mind with this defense is starting to come out a little bit more. Like we can get into all the first down
I hear
philosophy,
what you're saying, but wouldn't a lesser quarterback give you the confidence to be even more aggressive and just end this thing early?
I just think it's right now it's working, but you're flying close to the sun. Like if you send pressure and you get beat over the top, it can be a 75-yard touchdown as easily as it can be 2nd and 10. And when you play a game against these bad quarterbacks, there's just no reason to be that aggressive. Just they're going to make mistakes. So we're just going to sit here in our coverage and we're going to count on the fact that Cam Ward is going to not be able to.
So in other words, don't take chances if you don't have to.
Well, it's to the play that Mike just talked about, and you're right. It's one play of a whole season worth, small sample size. But that first play of the game in New Orleans, you're playing one of the teams that Evan's kind of describing. Make them drive on you, and you gave them a 50-yard chunk play in the first play of the game.
Right.
Because anybody can complete one, and I think that the philosophy for the Patriots throughout much of the season was, let's make sure they complete 8 or 9 to go down and score and not 1 against these quarterbacks. And for the most part, it worked. Now, to me, it's about the line of scrimmage. They've been dominant up front, and it's across the board. It's like all 6 or 7 of those guys, they're just owning the physicality at the line of scrimmage. They're owning the line of scrimmage, both games. The opponent has not been able to run at all. And I made the comment on the postgame show, we had made a big deal of that 50 rushing yards thing. No one's been able to run for 50 yards. That's they had 17 yards the other day. 14 carries for 17 yards for Woody Marks. This is blowing that 50-yard thing out of the water.
Do you think this would have happened if Milton Williams and Spillane hadn't come back?
I was going to just highlight Milton Williams. I think he is an absolute stud, and I don't know what I expected him to be coming over from the Eagles, but I don't know if it was this, because he looks every bit the game record that they've needed him to be. He's consistently in the backfield. There's at least a couple in my head remembering, he's just walking the guard into the backfield, and the running back's already got to make a cut 2 yards deep, and then he just, and the rest of the team swarms to it. I think he is, if we didn't realize it during the season, I'm realizing now what a key piece he is to this defense. But I just wanted to go back real quick to the point the boys were making was, what do they do this week against Jarrett Stidham? Do they go back to maybe take the foot off the gas a little bit and try to make Stidham execute? Or do they do Fred's thing and continue their playoff mantra?
I think they need to do what they've been doing, because I don't know how many points the Patriots are going to score on that Broncos defense. So if I'm the Patriots, I'm thinking
maximize possessions.
This might be another game where the defense is going to have to play really well. Now, it should be easier in theory, I guess. I don't know. So you were talking about it before the show, Deuce. How much worse can Jarrett Stidham play than CJ Stroud did on Sunday?
I guarantee he'll be better.
I don't guarantee that, but how much worse?
He's not going to have a 28 quarterback rating.
He had I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to guarantee he's going to be better.
I would say, as a blanket statement, I'd find it awfully hard to believe that a guy's capable of playing as badly as Stroud did Sunday, but how much better than that?
I think there's a difference. Stroud threw 4 picks, which is awful. But like, could Stidham complete like 40% of his passes and have absolutely no semblance of anything positive? Like, but
Stroud
not,
did both of those.
right. But like, I don't know. I think the turnovers is one thing, but
do I have
They
to?
wouldn't let
Do
him
I
get
have
the
to
four.
like, give a little lesson here?
I don't know.
I mean,
Can you save it?
everyone's.
It's awfully early in the week.
I know,
for
but
this.
everyone's saying that this
been
is
getting finger wagged
Jarrett
for like 3
Stidham
days.
is coming in and this is a layup.
Oh,
It
this is
ain't.
what we're doing
I'm telling you
already.
right now, teams rise up, especially good teams with good coaches. They figure it out. They work around it, and this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a tough game.
I agree, but not because of Stidham. Like, I think the Broncos defense is
No,
legit.
because they're a good team with a good coach.
They're a good defense.
I'm down on the defense, to be honest with you. I'm down on almost everything I've seen from Denver since they kind of got on the radar. Everybody started talking about and they won a bunch of games in a row. I don't think they're frauds. So before anybody like starts making fun of me for that, I think they're a good team. I think they're like all the other teams. Like, they're all good. But defensively, I've seen them play down the stretch maybe 3 or 4 times, and I haven't been overly impressed.
Yeah.
What I was watching from Houston down the stretch and then what I saw Sunday impressed the hell out of me. I don't look at this defense as anywhere near that caliber. I know the numbers indicate that they're close. The one thing that I would be concerned about with Denver, and I'm sure Evan's going to get into all the X's and O's far greater detail than I'd ever even try. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. They get after the passer, and probably your biggest concern through 2 games offensively is the inability to A, protect the passer, and B, have May handle the pressure with his presence. And
Protect the passer and protect the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
that, to me, could be a great equalizer if Nick Bonito or someone has a couple of strip sacks. Otherwise, I think you're going to move. I mean, Buffalo, Josh Allen played one of the worst playoff games, maybe the worst playoff game of his career. They put 30 on the board. They turned the ball over 5 times and put 30 on the board.
But in
on this
between those
defense.
turnovers, he was playing great.
Yeah, but he was awful in the game.
Great
I mean,
save.
for him.
I think it's a different type
That
of
kills
challenge.
me to say that.
No, I
It's a
think
different type of challenge. Like, Houston wins with structure and just talent, flat out talent. Denver cooks it up a lot more. Like, Denver is, they're doing a lot of things on tape that are very exotic. They're running a lot of match coverages. They're running a lot of pressure schemes. They blitz a lot. Like, this is Vance Joseph is one
he's
of
having
these.
the time of his life.
He is.
He really is.
He's one of those
There he
guys that he's one of those guys that really cooks it up. Whereas Houston,
the time of his life.
Houston, you kind of knew what you were going to get. It was just whether or not you could block the edges, right? Like that.
Yeah.
It was really came down to that. Whereas with this Broncos team, like, you can go into a blender a lot quicker, I would say, against the Broncos because you're not going to understand what you're looking at from a schematic standpoint than with Houston.
It's so much on Drake to me, and that's, yes, you're looking at Stidham and what's in front of you, but, I mean, if this team legitimately wants to have a chance to win a Super Bowl, Drake's going to have to be better. And I said on the show when we taped PUTV yesterday that, we had some MVP-type moments, but it wasn't an MVP-type performance from him.
Not at all.
And I wonder, to Evan's point, because we said last week it wasn't a lot mentally that he was going to have to digest at the line of scrimmage. It was just that these guys,
I just think
they don't get blocked.
you got to move him. You
But he's gonna have
cannot
to be
have him
smart now.
sit in the pocket. He's got to. You got to move him around.
So I don't think the pressure was all that bad.
I kind of agree.
I think Campbell got whooped. All right, like, just putting it objectively, a couple of times, but overall, he was only under pressure on like 25% of his dropbacks.
it's the way he's handling the pressure that worries me
The
more.
right side of the offensive line was fantastic. Morgan Moses pitched a shutout on the right side on Daniel Hunter for most of the game. So I don't think that this was one of those games where it was like he was under siege for 4 quarters. The bad plays were just really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, we had 3 really bad strip sacks that just can't happen, that probably in a normal playoff game you lose because of.
I saw, and there's only one instance that's coming to mind, but I don't know if you saw more of it, but I saw some return of the drift into pressure kind of thing and drift into his guys. I think it was one of the strip sacks where he kind of went right into Moses, right?
Yeah,
Like, and his arm hit right on his back.
That
felt
one
like it
was the
popped
one
up a
that
little
was
bit.
backed up on his own goal line, and he's super lucky that they recovered that, and that wasn't a fumble 6 or setting them up at the 2-yard line or something like that, which is usually, well, they didn't score at the 2-yard line, so I shouldn't say an automatic touchdown, but usually it is. But outside of those like 2 or 3 catastrophic plays, I actually didn't think the offensive line played all that poorly in this game. Campbell notwithstanding.
They were big. I mean, there were four fumbles.
Yeah.
those are big plays.
Yeah.
But I go back to, you're going to get to the Super Bowl. It's not going to be good enough versus whether it's the Seahawks or the Rams, especially the Seahawks with their defense. But against the Rams, they can score. They've got pieces. So, it's not just about getting through this next round. It's about, and I said to Evan, I feel he hasn't played MVP level 60 minutes these first 2 playoff games. So that makes me think like he should be due. He should be due for a bounce back. I know it doesn't make sense to say, oh, you're going to go on the road in the AFC Championship and all of a sudden you're going to play good. But they just need more from him. They're going to need more from him to win this game and to make some noise.
Do you think the success the team has had on the road this year means anything?
A little bit.
I do.
Yeah, I think they have confidence. And I mean, I'd also say, though, I think Denver's defense is probably going to take more onto themselves, that they have to play better. They're going to play with a little bit of extra energy, too, I think.
So, and I do wonder, and I guess 16 minutes, it's going to happen. Does Drake May, because you're going to scoff at this. I know you are.
Okay. Here we go.
I don't think he has to do as much in this game because I don't think they're going to have to score as much in this game.
I like that point. I know what you're saying.
I mean, I think you play to the fact that Jarrett Stidham's playing on the other team. So, Greg, I know we've
conservative play calling by Josh?
Well, if that's what it takes to get him to protect the ball, yes.
Yeah.
And I think that there was. Listen, I don't know what was being said, okay? It's dangerous to, look from the press box down at the sideline and interpret what's going on. But I kind of felt like there was a time there in the and I talked about this in the postgame show in the second half, that Mike and Josh were talking, Vrabel and McDaniels. And I kind of got the impression it was like, we gotta run the ball. And Josh is like, Mike, we can't run it. I mean, you watching the game, we haven't been able to run it. We're in 3rd and, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, every possession. What did they have? 9 3-and-outs in that game?
I think 6.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So
1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5.
I see what
6.
you did there. So, yeah, I think that they need to be more conservative if May is showing any signs of not having the ball security, because I really, and this is the part the only way they can lose this game is to do what they've done in these 2 games and put the ball on the ground constantly and not recover it.
Yep, I agree with that.
I don't see any way that they do not have a turnover in Denver and lose this game. I don't.
No,
but you don't think that Bo Nix is that great?
I don't, but he's significantly better than the guy who's playing now.
Do we know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Because the other guy can't play for any of the teams that he's been on.
Well, he's been behind some good quarterbacks. Right?
Who was he behind in Vegas?
Brian Hoyer? He backed up Brian Hoyer.
Well,
no
who was he
offense,
behind?
Brian, love you, mean
Who
it.
was he behind here?
Cam Newton and Brian Hoyer.
Yeah,
he was the third.
I know, and
quarterback.
I thought you meant Vegas because he's also with Brian Hoyer.
I don't want to go back in the history.
I was talking about here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back in the history of Jarrett Stidham, but I think he fell out of the doghouse for some off-field reasons. With the injury,
So why is
the
that
wedding and all that.
So why is that trailing him?
But I'm just saying,
So why is that narrative trailing him in Vegas and in Denver?
I don't think he's had a chance in this league to prove himself either way, good or bad.
Yeah, but I think when you're in the league as long as he has, you should have gotten a chance to play.
Yeah, but you also gain experience.
If you deserved a chance to play, you would have gotten it. Would be my point of view. He's had 4 career starts in 8 years? How many years have you been in the league?
Like 5.
19.
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
5 or 6.
What year did he get drafted?
19, right?
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
19 or
That's 7
20.
years.
Well,
Math.
26 we don't count yet. It hasn't happened yet.
No, 25.
Yeah, 5 and 19, so that's 6. Right? 5 and 1, 5 plus 1 is 6.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 7 seasons. Math again, I'll reiterate.
Well,
7 seasons, 4 starts.
Yeah.
At least 3 teams, right?
No.
I hear what Paul is saying with Stidham. He's right. But I think at the same time, I do have respect for Sean Payton. And I think that
I agree with that.
That Sean Payton will have a really good first 15 where they're probably going to move the pocket a bunch and get the ball out of his hands. And
Paul's going to get blood.
Try to run the ball, and they might have some early success in the game.
So I just want to ask the question now, get it out here now. If he comes out and he does pretty well, is it because the Patriots defense stinks now? Stidham, I'm talking about.
Can I see it?
I mean, well, yeah, pretty well?
If he comes out and he's like, 65% passing and he's not turning the ball over.
How many yards?
I don't know. I don't know. But like if he looks
stat.
okay.
But like 65% passing for like 80 yards. Yeah, great. No, I'm not going to say anything about the Patriots defense. Does he put like 28 points and throw for, 280 with 65% passing? Then I'll say, yeah, all it took was a quarterback to not poop himself, and the defense looked average.
There's a long way from a good first 15 to 280 in 65% passing.
Exactly.
And that was sort of my point, was like, I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out and plays pretty well to start the game. Now, they're going to have plays that they've practiced all week that he's going to feel comfortable running. It's always the challenge of once you get out of the script, like, how does it go from there?
Sure, for all teams.
And I don't know if, the good quarterbacks will be able to play well through 4 quarters. I don't know if Stidham's going to be able to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Payton has something ready that he probably would have called the same game with Bo Nix, honestly. Like,
I think they're similar in styles. I think Stidham probably has a better arm. But I think Nix is the better player in terms of overall package, and obviously what he's done with games on the line and late situations, he's been really good.
Right, like 6 or 7 fourth quarter comebacks this year.
He's got 5 fourth quarter comebacks, 7 game winning drives. That's the most in the league, and I think that's a big part of it, is that intangible quality of the clutch in that factor. But Nix is more mobile, and it's not particularly close. Stidham's not a statue, but Nix is really nimble. He can get out on the pocket. He's more comfortable, I would say, in a lot of ways, throwing on the move, throwing from different platforms, arm angles, different things like that. That's not Jarrett Stidham's game. They're going to have to get Jarrett Stidham to sit in the pocket and make throws, whereas like 25% of Bo Nix's throws are on the run.
I honestly don't know what Jarrett Stidham's game is.
Jarrett Stidham is a pocket quarterback. He's got a good arm. I think that if he's clean, like a lot of NFL quarterbacks, he can hit throws down the field. But
it's just from his college tape?
From just everything. I watched some of his preseason last night. I went back and watched a couple of his starts in 23, which were Sean Payton still in Denver. Now this Broncos team now is a lot better than that Broncos team was in terms of surrounding talent. I think the only other thing I would add is this is the best offensive line they've faced yet.
That's what I was going to say.
By a country mile.
So would that prevent you? I wanted to get into that. I'm glad you opened the door. Would that cause you to maybe rethink some of the pressure stuff that you've been doing? Because this line seems more equipped to handle some of that stuff, whereas certainly the Chargers look like they had never seen one before. And at times the Texans looked pretty leaky too.
No, I think they've been kind of blitz happy in the postseason, and I would say that might be how you have to do it. Like I think just pick your spots.
I would go the opposite way. I would say let him try to pick me apart. I'm gonna say that you protect the passer well. I'm gonna give you that, and I'm gonna really pick and choose my spots with my pressure, and I'm gonna just rely on him not being able to pick us apart.
I mean, if Chason plays like he's been playing, maybe they can still get pressure with 4. I don't know if he's going to have a picnic back there if you don't try to bring some extra heat on him, because it's a really good offensive line. They have 2 first-team All-Pros.
Nix was only sacked 22 times all year.
It's 2.
That's a pretty low number.
2 first-team All-Pros. Garrett Bowles at left tackle, Miners the right guard. Now the center's hurt, so that's one area that they were on their 3rd-string center in overtime against Buffalo last week. I don't know if it's going to be the backup or the 3rd string, but maybe if you put Barmore or Williams right over the center and have him rush on that guy, then you could get some pressure with the 4-man rushes. But I think you risk the fact of like him just kind of sitting there all day.
And we've seen some bad quarterbacks go down the field on this defense. Not to say that they're the same defense right now, but I get what Paul's saying, and I do agree with spinning the dial a little bit. There were times I thought where they dropped everybody out, rush 3 last week that caught CJ Stroud off guard. But I agree with Evan. That was the point I was going to make. I mean, their offensive line is really, really good. And but they don't really have like a go-to weapon, either right now. Like, if I had Stidham and I felt great about my running back, J.K. Dobbins is they activated him off of designated to return, so he might come back. But what's up with Troy Franklin? He went out of that game. He's a pretty reliable, dangerous piece there in the slot. So, but is he going to be able to push it downfield to Courtland Sutton and Marvin Mims and old friend Lil Jordan Humphrey?
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that just looking at the matchup, like they became very pass heavy this year with Bo Nix. They're top 10 in pass rate.
They don't run it very well.
They're top 10 in dropbacks per game. I think they're like 7th or 8th in the league in dropbacks per game. So when you look at their team, they threw the ball 73% of the time against Buffalo on first and second down last week. They're not going to be able to do that with a backup quarterback. Like, they're going to have to find some sort of run game to balance it out, because if you ask Jared Stidham to drop back 50 times on Sunday, then the Patriots will blow them out. So, like, you have to find a different way to do it, I think. And I think that's the most interesting part of this matchup to me is, like, how does can Denver find a running game that is productive to kind of offset the fact that they don't have a quarterback that they can drop back like that?
I thought Tonga looked pretty good too. He looked like the guy he was.
You could say a name on that defense and you would be like, yep, that guy played well. Like, literally every single
defense. The defense was very impressive. And one thing to keep in mind here too is the Patriots got fortunate with the concussion protocol last week with Gonzo, who responded with another really solid game. Now you have to worry about what Carlton Davis's situation is going to be. I guess we'll probably learn a little bit more about that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But it sounds like from you guys, if you're going to have a game where you're going to miss your cornerback, this is it.
But you still, I am going to say
it's still the AFC Championship game,
right? When you take your good players, see, I'm very consistent. When you take your good players out of the lineup, it generally weakens your team. So I say Carlton Davis out of the lineup makes the Patriots secondary less dangerous than it was last week.
For sure. And I think I would worry about him chucking it up to Mims, running downfield. They might get to a certain point where they're desperate, but those are some big body guys that can, we saw it last week, that can make plays down the field.
Sutton's a good player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's not the most consistent, like, number one guy out there,
Drops
but
a lot of passes for a number one guy.
But he's a volume guy who averages, about 14 yards a catch. That's pretty good numbers.
I would assume that, last week they didn't shadow the receivers because Nico Collins didn't play in the game, and so there's really no reason for it. I think Gonzo's got Courtland Sutton in this game. Like, I think you have him travel with Courtland Sutton because, that's really the engine of their passing game is him. And I would also say, like, Harvey out of the backfield is sneaky good as a scat back, so you have to be careful about little dump offs into the flats, especially with a backup quarterback. Like, those are a quarterback's best friend when you throw the ball, 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and the guy breaks a tackle and goes for 20. So, he's someone that's on my radar.
That was a big play in overtime, too. Was that one that got the drive going, really? He made a couple of guys miss and ended up picking up about 15 yards. And that's when then the pass interferences came and the game was over.
Very quickly.
And McDermott got fired.
Very, very quickly to the Broncos.
Coaching carousel.
I know, the RA.
Yeah, no McDermott out. Hafley now the head coach of Miami.
Yep.
Saleh got hired.
Titans.
Head coach of the Titans. Who else got hired? Anyone else?
Other than Harbaugh so far. That's
Harbaugh,
Stefanski in Atlanta, right?
Stefanski.
Yeah.
So I think 4 of those jobs are filled, but now there's still 6 openings.
I kind of feel like the Titans were trying to get, like, I was calling them Timu Vrabel. Like, they're like, let's get the Vrabel kind of guy back again, So
I can't believe the Bills fired McDermott and promoted Brandon Beane. Like, that to me is absolutely crazy. He literally failed up. Like, I like, it's his fault. Like, the roster is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand how the GM.
Yeah, McDermott was there first, right?
Is the one that survives that. But that's something. They're gonna open that new stadium and they have no idea who the coach is.
I know
it's really weird that they did that with Beane. I would have thought that would be a package deal.
Joe Brady promoted? Is that a possibility?
It's possible.
It's possible. I think that would be a bad move,
Yeah,
but
me too.
that's possible.
I know Tomlin said he doesn't want to coach this year, but I got a feeling that's just posturing. It's like, okay,
Until the
Right.
morning.
Yeah, until every job is filled, Fred. I think that's in play.
Well, what would you guys do with Josh Allen? I just think that's interesting because I think he's had some success with Joe Brady, and they had a little bit of a lull with Dorsey, and they got rid of him, and they brought Brady back in. Like, but you kind of have to get a new OC, right? Like, you can't just hire a new coach and keep the OC.
I bring Dable
that's
in,
maybe a
make him the head
possibility.
coach.
I wouldn't want a guy with no head coach experience to inherit what I think is a team that's capable of playing deep in the playoffs. I would want a guy with more. Even Dable, I know it was only 3 years, 3.5 years with the Giants. That to me would be more significant than Brady. Plus, I know that Allen won an MVP with Brady, but I think he had his best success with Dable.
Yeah.
So there was something there, I think, that worked with Dable. But either one of those two guys, the more important thing for Buffalo is going to be you have to find someone to run the defense because we could talk about Josh Allen's turnovers all you want. They can't. Every one of these playoff games, they allow 30-plus points. Yeah. And that's when they go home. And they were supposed to be a defensive-oriented team, with a defensive-minded head coach. I think that's probably as big a reason as any is why RA is out of a job.
And their pass defense has been great.
Yeah.
And it was great again this year.
They can't get pressure, especially when the games are on the line.
Well, yeah, and I think that their scheme, the way that they, line up front, they run the same front they've ran for 15 years. And, at some point, it's like, I remember guys on the Patriots offensive line being like, we're getting the 4-3 over. Like, that's what we're getting. And it's like, where the weaknesses are, where to run the ball against them. And their run defense has not been very good, really at all for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm just surprised that they, Fred mentions Tomlin. Like, well, do you want that kind of guy? Because that's what McDermott is. Yeah. Do you want the defensive guy, program builder, that sort of guy, or do you want the tight pants guy that's going to come in and really
handcuff Josh to a tight pants guy and remake him a little bit? Is
right. I don't know which way you go. I mean, it's not a great coaching carousel for the tight pants guys. There's no Ben Johnson in this group,
and I do think Dable or Brady would be good for Josh Allen. But I'm talking about what's best for the team as a whole.
Hire the guy from Indiana.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't want to go.
I don't think anybody could afford that.
Yeah, he says he's not interested in it yet, but we'll see what the money.
Well, that contract that he signs is just that contract that he signed.
Yeah, just signed an extension.
Major money.
Yeah, and regardless, the defense is going to change. I mean, that's McDermott's defense, so that is a given that they're going to have to reconstitute that defense into something.
To Evan's point, they have to do something about their personnel, and they didn't.
Well, that's why they
promoted the guy.
That's why the Brandon Bean thing is weird to me.
Right, and now they might be looking for different personnel to fit whatever their new defense is.
Their window was closed.
Just real quick, I was reading something about this morning, and I had forgotten how many times Brandon Bean got really, really pissy with the media, talking about the wide receiver room in this current offseason. Whining about how hard it is, cap-wise. All these things that really aren't things anymore that other teams have been able to overcome. I think it was one of your boys, Evan, Benjamin Solak. Is that his name? Mm-hmm. He wrote a really comprehensive piece about, the fall. McDermott's the fall guy, but you can look at Bean and you can look at Allen himself for some of these shortcomings when it matters most. And some of the quotes from Brandon Bean, I forgot about some of that stuff. And he just was one of these guys, nothing's his fault. You see why he stayed. Yeah. He's sitting next to the Pagulas, and he's saying, I gave him all of this. He has that. We have this roster. We have that roster. He's not doing anything with it. It's the age-old thing. The GM sitting next to the coach.
All right, 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast at Patriots.com. Sweeney in Providence. Just a friendly reminder that Paul thinks CJ Stroud is a very good quarterback.
Oh, you knew that was coming.
Yeah,
I deserve these.
I thought he was too, and I honestly I don't know where the disconnect is.
I think the Patriots deserve some credit.
Yeah, and I saw somebody
Crazy
write, he's still trying to get back to that level he had as a rookie, and last year it felt like he was still good, but Tank Dell got hurt. It felt like he was holding things together, with a thread. And I'm surprised at how he's looked here.
His
in
feet
the
are a
playoffs.
mess.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say on a positive nature about anything he's done in these two playoff games. He's been awful. But I give the Patriots defense credit for some of the stuff that happened Sunday.
I mean, Chase Young was just on him so fast.
His-
It's just forcing bad decisions.
His feet are a mess.
Yeah.
Like his feet under pressure. He throws from wonky platforms consistently. It's not even just the turnovers. Like he's just flat out missing open receivers.
Did you get a turnover-worthy play number for him on Sunday?
Yeah, he had 6.
That's it?
6. Yeah.
Felt like he had 6 in the first quarter and hadn't turned it over.
Right.
But, it was worse watching it back than it was even live. Like, missing receivers in the end zone on that goal line sequence. He missed 2. The one
end line.
threw to the, down underneath, and then he came off the front side of a read a little bit too quickly. I think he was sped up at that
Caught
point.
that one live.
Then, missing guys because his feet aren't set properly and he's feeling the pressure come in and his feet are all over the place. I really like D'Amico Ryans, and I think he's a great defensive coach, but that team's going nowhere if they can't figure out the quarterback.
They got a lot of work to do with him this offseason. I said it to Evan at halftime. I'd have made the change.
I was thinking about it.
I would have put Davis Mills in. I don't know if it would have mattered because I don't think Davis Mills is any good, but to Fred's point about Stidham, I cannot imagine a guy playing a worse game than that. That's about as bad of a performance as I've seen.
I was thinking that first drive, second half, they'd make the decision, but he actually looked pretty good on that first drive.
Yeah.
If you remember.
I mean, even at the end of the game when they were backed up in their own end zone, I'm like, oh my God, this is scary for these guys right now. Letting CJ
First
Stroud
play of the
throw
game,
out.
they roll him out the
That's what I
first
said
play of
to
the
Paul.
game, and he misses the first throw of the game.
I know.
Yeah,
wide open.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
that was another one.
awful.
I said to Paul, I know on the post-game show that one of the big differences in this game was that the Patriots recovered 2 of their own fumbles, and they also returned.
Oh, listen, that
the
game
kick
could
for a
have
touchdown.
turned very easily, man.
But the other thing that I think was a big difference was that the Patriots made 3 amazing catches on touchdowns, and the Texans missed like 6 layup catches that, I'm thinking of at least one where they got him on the backside, sleeping again, where the tight end just sitting there and boom, right through his hands.
Yep.
They had drops, and the Patriots made the tough catches.
Jonathan in Fontana, one critique I have about the game is the lack of play action from McDaniels. Last week, you guys talked about getting into heavy personnel, taking play action shots deep. Would have benefited the offense, and I don't remember if we got any of that, and especially with Will Campbell's struggles in this game, more play action just made more sense. They couldn't run the ball, though, so what good is play action?
I don't know if you want to turn your back on those guys.
I thought that was – they only attempted one pass out of the 6-0 line, and I thought they would do more of that. I thought they would put 7-8 guys in the protection, run 2-man routes, try to load up the protection, maybe move the pocket a little bit. They did try it once, and Will Anderson sacked Drake May and got through, but it was because the coverage was they got it on the back end. They covered it well, but I was a little bit surprised. Now, I think play action's an easy crutch of just like when things aren't going well, just call more play action. Like it doesn't always work like that, but I thought that in this game, if you had one critique of McDaniels, I was surprised there weren't more, max protections, move the pocket, those types of things.
Yeah, I would just say, I don't think they played very well offensively. I don't think the play calls. I wouldn't argue with any more play action. The emailer saying more moving in the pocket. I do think that they took shots down the field, which I was expecting and hoping for, and I think they did take a handful of shots down the field and had some success with them. I think it was a big part of the game, but one of May's fumbles, the May fumble where he ended up it was like a broken play. He hands the ball to no one because he turned the wrong way or the running back went the wrong way. I don't know which was which. Mm-hmm. Then it's a broken play and he sort of recklessly dives forward for no reason and ends up fumbling. That's just bad play. All around. You missed your assignment. Maybe 2 people, maybe one person. I don't know.
Play and then somebody didn't get
then
the
he
message.
squirts in. Just take what, okay, the play's blown. It's a blown play. We don't have to make 18 yards out of this. It's a blown play.
Bad to worse.
And then you make it bad to worse. Evan talked about some of the times in the pocket where the pressure wasn't, quote unquote, that bad. One of them, I think, looked like it was supposed to be out really quick. The linemen looked like they were cutting, and he ended up holding the ball. Mike, you talked about the one where he kind of drifted himself into Morgan Moses and then got pushed back, and that led to one of the fumbles.
Yep.
They just didn't play that well.
Yeah.
We can blame it on Josh, but I think that they need to play better, period. All of them, and not just the quarterback.
Some of the pocket maneuvering mechanics from May, some of it has reverted back to rookie season stuff where he's drifting, where he's not cognizant of where the pressure points are. Look, like when Will Anderson comes off the blind side in like a half a second, like there's nothing you can do about that. But I thought on the other 2 strip sacks, having some sense of where the pressure is and how much time you've spent in the pocket, and at some point, like it's time to get 2 hands on the ball and either take a sack or try to squirt out or something. But you got to protect the football. I thought 2 of the 3 strip sacks, he tried to load up, and I don't even know where he was throwing the ball. Like he was trying to throw it down the field, and he's loading up, and Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are just on top of him. And it's like, those are the ones that can't happen.
And to defend Josh again, so you had that drive, I want to say late in the third quarter, which he started off with one of those little sort of misdirection boots, gets him out of the pocket, little dump to Austin Hooper, nice drive start, like 15 yards. Then I think they tried a similar concept on the next play, and it didn't work as well. Like that's the play that Will Anderson almost took his head off. Or, I think it was Will Anderson. So when you're playing against teams like that, they're good too. So you can try a lot of different things. I mean, Mike made, I think, the best point. The 3 touchdowns were really well defended, and the throws were good, and the catches were even better. And in the case of Booties, was one of the best catches you'll ever see. Those are 3 dynamite catches by Diggs, Booty. And I don't think people
Freaking elite.
I don't think people realize how good the catch that Douglas made. That ball got tipped, and he like maintained his concentration and was able to catch it in stride and score.
Well, we talked about it on the postgame show. Every play was contested.
Yeah.
I mean,
defense.
they were good defensively.
You got to give them their praise, the Texans. Their defense.
Will Anderson's
is
kind of
tough.
a man amongst boys. Like watching him, it's just he's
He
so
did the same
fast.
thing last year.
I mean, you block him for a second, that's as much as you're going to get
Does
because
the
he's
same
like a
thing ever for
magnet to
you.
the ball. It's fun to watch. I mean, it really is, especially when you win. You don't have to think about him destroying your game.
And to give away the ball as many times the Patriots did and still beat them.
No, they got to be
Patriots
better.
must be pretty good. All right, a lot of blind.
the Patriots recovered the fumbles, right?
A lot of blind going on in the emails. Dylan writes in, my favorite part of the PU shows is when I write in, is when I get to watch Paul poo-poo my takes, and then Evan goes to the locker room, and Paul complains about Evan poo-pooing his takes. Last week, I wrote in saying I had no faith in Stroud, and outside of the scoreboard, I thought the defense could step up against the Texans, and I stand by it.
You were right.
Fully aware that Paul will also poo-poo this take as well. No, you were wrong.
You were right.
Every time we make an opposing QB play bad, it's because of that QB and not because of our defense, but that's okay. Every team needs some motivation, and I'm glad that our defense will continue to be underrated moving forward. Deuce, not sure if it was intentional, but the post-game interview with Spillane, where you snuck in a reference to Spillane leading them, was hilarious. I whispered, "Lead them." Did you know you were doing that?
I didn't.
I heard it, and I said, "Ooh."
I didn't consciously do it.
Really?
But I credit to my subconscious for getting it in there. Someone else pointed it out, and I was like, I did?
Yeah.
All right, good.
No, I heard
didn't
it at the
catch
time.
it. I sort of blacked out.
Come
on
back
those
when you
anyway.
lead them.
Lastly, can you imagine if back in July after training camp I said to you, I hope Matt Collins will be back from injured reserve before the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
That's an important piece of the offense.
Yeah.
It's amazing how far we've come in 6 months. What an amazing season for a fan.
Yeah, I hope Matt Collins is out there too.
Me too.
I think that has mattered. I'm not saying he's prime Randy Moss, but I think his big contested body, the catch radius, like over the middle of the field, especially, like they haven't really been able to hit those like deep digs and stuff like that over the middle of the field.
You feel a little better when you're sending him to dig out the nickel rather than Efton Chisholm, all effort for sure.
Yeah.
But when it's a guy who's like 6'5",
And I think Josh McDaniels is going to be happy to have him back too, because it sounds from what he's saying that he gives him options. Like he's kind of his chess piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I think we've all come to that.
I think they've really missed him in the run game for sure.
Yeah, I think that he's been missed. And
So, like, he can practice this week.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantee he's going to play, though.
Yeah.
or practice.
No.
Yeah.
And Vrabel pointed out Josh Farmer, too. Not that he's an impact player, but just make sure
Well,
everybody
listen,
knows.
one thing I will say about the defensive front, and Vrabel has mentioned it, like it's heavy substitution patterns.
Yeah.
And I think Vrabel thinks that that's really helping them.
Yeah.
Like guys are coming off fresh, they're coming in, he's putting him, in or Kerr. I always say core. Kerr
It is core.
It's core.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's putting him in places to succeed. Like this is what he's good at. This is the situation. And I remember like guys like Jarvis Green.
Yeah.
Those were guys like he'd be put in a spot that was good for him, and he'd succeed. And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
We're seeing that.
I mean, they play 5 guys. They play 5 guys on the interior, at least. And like Milton Williams and Barmore still play a ton of the snaps. Tonga and Durden were more like 50-50 in this game, and Durden's been really, really good. And then like Leonard Taylor kind of like plays like his like 10 or 15 just to kind of spell the other guys. But it's really those big 4. Now Tonga's back. Barmore, Williams, Durden, Tonga.
Yeah.
What about Ponder?
Ponder plays on the edge.
Yeah, I'm including the edge in the front.
Well, so that's Chase on, and then on the other
Yeah.
side you have Ponder and Jennings and
Yeah.
whatever's left of Harold Landry.
Yeah, I include the whole
Levinson.
thing, not just the interior guys.
Well, so I guess then they play 8 guys.
Yeah. Oh, but I would say to
Yeah.
your point, Fred, the amount of energy that they ask these guys to play with, I think, you want to have that rotation. And, a guy like Durden who's emerged and gotten some extra playing time, I mean, he's not going to be a superstar, but when you have some depth that you feel good, I mean, Evan said what I thought, it's just no matter who you put in there, they're all kind of playing together. And, they don't have the superstar talent that the Texans had last week, but when a defense all plays together and they're all aggressive and there aren't, guys getting pushed back and seams in the front, it's sound football defense. It's fun to watch, and that's what they're playing right now.
I would definitely take the Patriots interior guys over Houston's. I mean, their edge guys are obviously a lot better, but I think the Patriots interior defensive line is one of the best in the league.
Let's go to Rick in Kentucky. What's up, Rick? Hey, Rick.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm, for the most part, I'm pretty much an overly compassionate guy, and there's one person that I'm really happy for with this year's run, and that's Mike Dussault. Because when Mike joined the crew, things went to the crapper.
Yeah, it's true.
And if I was Mike, I would have thought, darn, am I jinxing this thing? I mean, the team was winning games with their eyes closed since the Lincoln administration, and enter Mike, and then this. So I'm Mike. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, Rick.
You're getting a chance.
I love that call.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
I love it.
I'm serious. I'm serious. And I'm going to do something that I'm going to be a hypocrite, because when Patriot fans do this, it drives me crazy. I'm going to ask you guys, who are we rooting for if we win?
Oh, here we go.
Or the Rams?
Rams.
Because I'm
Seattle.
I know where Paul's going
You're rooting for
with
Seattle?
that.
Oh, I want no part of that Seahawks team. No.
So, okay, we'll play your game.
Thanks, Rick.
Who do we want to?
So
Who
Evan,
do we want to
Evan
play
wants
in
the
the
Rams.
Super Bowl
I
if
want
we get
Seattle.
there?
What do you two want?
I'm torn because I love Seattle.
There's nothing torn about this. I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said
from
Seattle.
one
analysis
perspective,
anywhere.
which is that you want a matchup for the Patriots, and I respect that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would be easier
2
for the
days
Patriots?
ago,
I can't believe you
2 days
said
ago, I would
Seattle.
have said, "Give me the Rams," but now with Charbonnet out, he's their second best offensive player.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no.
JSN and Kenneth Walker are their 2 best offensive
I
players.
think Charbonnet is.
I think he's better than Kenneth Walker too.
You think
But,
he's better than Kenneth Walker?
I think in
I
terms
think he's
of
been better
value,
down
How
the
much
stretch.
Seahawks are you guys
in terms
watching?
of the value to the team, I think Charbonnet.
You're
Charbonnet's,
obviously not watching any of the offense if you're afraid of them.
Right.
I didn't say I was afraid of them, but I mean,
So
you think Charbonnet is better than Kenneth Walker?
I think
he's
they're both running backs, so
I
it doesn't
think he's
really matter
added
to
more
me.
to
But,
the offense lately. Yes.
but yes, I
weird.
think he's given them
Okay.
more plays lately.
I do too.
I'll let that one go.
Paul, you're correct. So
I mean, it's an opinion.
So
It's
with
not
him
really,
out-
it's not really a
Close.
right or wrong
So
thing.
with
I
him
don't
out-
think you're wrong. How's that sound?
Way more dynamic player.
with him out, I'm a little less, but their offense, I mean, their defense is ferocious.
Yep.
So that's why I'm scared of the Seahawks. Rams, on the other hand, I mean, their offense, the people they have on it, like, yeah, I'm glad that our Patriots defense is playing the way it is right now, because either team, you're going to need like a Herculean effort to beat either one of those teams. Puka Nacua is the best offensive player in the league, probably.
He's awesome. I mean, last year, watching the catches he comes down with consistently. I get the point of, I think Seattle's defense is probably the best unit left in the playoffs. I don't know if that's a stretch to say that. And I respect Mike McDonald's on there. I also like the Seahawks, and I have friends who, and so there's just there's the nonsense part that, these guys don't enjoy. But for me, I think that's a cool rematch. I know the Rams would be round 3 in the Super Bowl, so we've kind of seen that a couple times. But I'd also think Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's the X factor.
We'll see.
That's why I picked Seattle.
Yeah, that's the X factor.
I understand picking Seattle for that reason. I just think Seattle in all 3 phases has a chance to do what they just did to San Francisco on any given week. Yeah. I think you're going to be more in a fight with the Rams. Yeah. Like, I think that's a game that probably comes down to the wire. Seattle, I think, has a chance to boat race pretty much everybody.
Either team, the Patriots will be the underdog.
Yeah,
going in.
Yeah.
I think it's.
So I'll be rooting for injuries in the NFC Championship.
Fred, earmuffs.
Yeah.
Earmuffs. You don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
So Seattle and the Rams in the look-ahead line are favored by 3.5 over the Patriots.
Both teams would be favored by 3.5. Is that what you said?
Correct.
And the Patriots are the home team.
That's a lot of. That's it's kind of a lot of respect for the Patriots. Honestly, I'm surprised that's all it is. Like
a little bit.
Seattle is. They scare me.
I just
Seattle's
didn't know Fred
really good.
Didn't want to talk about what the line is for a Super Bowl. The Patriots haven't qualified for yet.
Right. Well, I can't look at Drake's performances the last 2 games and not think about if he were to face that Seattle defense of how much more you would need out of him, and that whole offense would just have to pull together in a way that maybe we haven't even seen yet.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I look at it exactly the opposite way. I look at Seattle doesn't make you have to do that. The Rams probably will. The Rams will probably make you have to keep up. The Rams' defense is not as good as Seattle's. No, I don't think anybody would argue otherwise. Seattle's defense is much better than the Rams. But the Rams' offense probably is going to make you keep up. Yeah. And that's what's going to me, put more pressure on Drake May. I think you can play, a workman-like, keep it out of harm's way kind of game and have a puncher's chance against Seattle easily. As long as you just don't ruin the game on your own.
Maybe I'm referring more towards you can't fumble it 4 times, no matter which team.
I don't care.
There's a baseline that he's got to get back to.
I think we can all agree. It's much like, for all the heat I got for the CJ Stroud thing, and I bring it, like I was wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. I said a million times, if he fumbles 5 times and throws a pick again, they're going to lose. Yeah. Now, I didn't think he would do that again.
I didn't.
He did.
Yeah.
So, again, if Drake May fumbles 4 times and throws another pick, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to get away with that again. Yeah. But I don't think he will, because I think he's been too good.
And am I sleeping? Or are people sleeping on the Rams defense? Do we don't like the Rams defense this year?
I seem to remember them being
the
Rams defense is
it's
average.
Good.
It's average.
But
they got some good pieces up front, but it's not Seattle.
You're comparing it to Seattle.
I think their secondary kind of.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking of the front.
Their front is pretty good.
Jared Verse and Fisk.
Yeah.
They got some guys.
Turner.
The guy on the
my
other
guy
side.
from Everett, the rookie from Everett, Josiah Stewart's been pretty good for them.
Yeah.
Dan's in Daytona. What's up, Dan?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, so that game was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. Besides obviously the turnovers by Drake, I was really shocked to see that again. I thought he would have cleaned that up coming off the Chargers, but it's kind of as expected. Houston, that was a vaunted defense. Like, that was crazy. Like, seeing Drake under duress and then seeing Booty and Diggs making the catches. But to your point, Paul and Evan, and you, Fred, I would not be scared of either team's defense. The reason I say that is because, Seattle does have a great defense. Rams have a decent defense too, but if we're able to play like we've been playing these last 2 games, it shuts all these national medias up. Like, I don't know if you saw the post from ESPN. They posted all of them picking against the Patriots.
I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, they posted that out. That makes Drake May and Mike Vrabel and the Patriots look good if they can show out come February 8th, and even against Denver. So that's all I have to say. But I think the Patriots could take either or. And everybody being scared of the Seahawks or the Rams, I think it's ridiculous. It's professional football.
Okay. Thanks, Dan.
Here's where I'll defend you, Fred. I don't think people are saying they're scared.
No,
I mean, It's like, which, I think there's a reasonable
Fans
argument.
are scared. The team isn't scared.
No, but I don't even think, like, most people that talk about this stuff, when they say, like, I would rather play the Rams than the Seahawks, or the Seahawks than the Rams. It's not like, oh, I'm afraid of playing the other one. And again, like, the offensive performances in these two games isn't probably going to be good enough.
No matter.
Like, they need to play better offensively.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Christian's in L.A. Hey, Christian.
Hey, you guys. Hey, you know what? I'm a little bit angry today for a couple of reasons. One is the national media and this dialogue, especially led by this Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football, whatever it is.
What's he doing?
They have this dialogue that the Patriots might be the first team to make it to the Super Bowl without having played anybody or without having played a complete team. And that if we win the Super Bowl, we should have an asterisk next to our name.
Who said that? No one said they should have an asterisk.
Kyle Brent said that this morning.
Oh, my God. I'll talk to him.
Replay of it.
Mike, that's Mike's friend. He'll talk to him.
Kyle Brandt said that the Patriots should have an asterisk next to their...
He said those exact words.
Why? Well, why did he say that?
Because we haven't played a complete team yet in the playoffs. Like, it was our fault that
seems a little strong.
I thought going in, the Chargers were a pretty well-rounded team.
Their offensive line just stinks.
They're saying, okay, they had the two linemen out, right?
Yeah.
And then with the Texans,
a few.
They had their guys out, and now Jarrett Stidham is going to be out. That's not something that we chose as a team. So why should he say that if we win, it should be an asterisk because we haven't played a complete team?
All right. I don't know.
You have to call him and ask him, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
Kyle Brandt. I thought he was a nice guy. He's not nice anymore?
He's not nice anymore in my book.
No, he's on our list. Go get him, Patriots fans.
You're right, Fred. We're back.
And this is you guys off.
Yeah.
It doesn't. When other people's opinions, when other people have opinions that are different than mine, they don't really piss me off.
Well, if they're ridiculous like that.
Disrespect, though. Disrespect, Christian.
What difference does it make if you can control it? That he thinks that they haven't really been, like, pressed against a really well-rounded team. Like, what if that's his opinion? What does it have to do with what the Patriots can control?
Fair or not, they're going to have to.
I mean,
they're going to have to finish it. Like they're going to have to win the Super Bowl to shut all these people up.
But even so, just for argument's sake, if the Patriots were to win against Denver, and that's all anybody's talking about, like, should you not go to the Super Bowl? Like, who cares?
No, of course.
Who cares?
I've already bought my tickets to the Super Bowl, but the fact that the national media
you're going to scold him too?
Got under my skin this morning.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it, Christian.
That's the very essence of him.
We all we need. We don't need them. Thanks for the call.
Dan Orlovsky got under my skin yesterday, so I get it.
All right.
I get it.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, more calls, more blind, more emails after this. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, You gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
Where's your Celtics and Patriots gear?
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Wondering if you can share any recollections about playing in Denver and if there's any kind of different way you need to prepare them given the altitude.
Other than going out there last Thursday, which wouldn't have been a ideal situation considering we had to play last night. But, I think just physiologically you have to be at altitude for longer than a day or two or three. I mean, it takes time to do that. And, so we'll do what we've always done. We'll travel and, be in condition and be ready to play. And that's kind of about what it is.
Mike, do you anticipate Matt Collins practicing this week?
I can't be certain right now. We're just still working through everything with some of those guys that could be back. Josh Farmer could be eligible to come back as well as Mac. But, those aren't decisions that we've made yet.
Can you elaborate some more on why it's important to you to get into the tunnel after the game and greet players as they come off the field?
Yeah, I've done this since 2018. I just, these guys, this is a tough game. It's a physical game. It's, they're beat up, they're banged up, and I want to thank them. It's a good opportunity, to see them. We may not have the opportunity to go around to see each and every one of them after the game. So I feel like that's a good chance to thank them and be appreciative of their efforts, whether we win or lose.
Coach, yesterday, Drake May, coach here, said he's still getting adjusted to your sarcasm. As a coach,
Said he's still
getting adjusted to your sarcasm.
That's not sarcasm. No.
How do you strike that balance between being a guy that players can approach, but also making sure you're still a head coach?
Yeah, I mean, I try to be as approachable as possible. I try to, I think the biggest thing is getting out of your office. Whether the door to your office is always open still doesn't mean they want to come in and sit down and talk. So trying to find places and meet them where they're at, be in meeting rooms, be in the cafeteria, be in the weight room, places like that.
Like, I know you've talked about it before, but where have you seen Kayshon Boutte develop most this year?
Probably just his versatility. I think he's an easy learner. Could play a bunch of different spots if we asked him to. But also, I wasn't around Kayshon before this year, right? So I don't have anything to go off of. I just know that he's very unselfish, that he makes the most of his opportunities. Seems to be and has been highly competitive player. Doesn't say a whole lot. Does his work. Has always been accountable, and he's where he needs to be when he needs to be there. And you notice his actions. You don't necessarily hear him, and that's just his personality. But you could certainly see that his identity when he plays is exactly what we want.
With a guy like Kayshon, who obviously, like you said, you never worked with, when you join a team and there's players who've been there before, how do you balance having an open mind about that player, but also getting as much information about him as possible from people who were with him the past few years?
Yeah, I mean, I think we tried to, listen to people that had been around some of the players that we had on the roster getting here. But then it's usually best to just kind of go by what you see and what you experience as opposed to what you hear.
Mike, you said for fourth down play early in the game, that touchdown to Pop. What makes him a trustworthy player in a situation like that?
I think that just goes back to training camp, goes back to the OTAs. Pop has really done a nice job in being ready to go. And I know that, like every other receiver, they wish that they had more snaps and they wish they had more targets. And, by taking advantage of the ones that he gets, which he has done, we have to continue to find ways to get him the football and have him help us. So I think that's just the confidence that's been built up through training camp in the offseason.
This morning on the radio, you mentioned that you did some off-season work on Jarrett Stidham. I'm just curious what you saw from him as a quarterback when you were doing that work.
Well, I guess it was kind of ironic, just speaking with his agent. They're like, well, if you don't want your starter to get hurt, sign Jarrett, because that was before, yesterday or 2 days ago. Just going back to when Josh had him and playing against that, I think he sees things really well. I think he's athletic enough to extend, like we talk about a lot of quarterbacks. The accuracy, I think the decision-making is really decisive in the games that we went back and watched. And this is even going back to when I was in Tennessee as well.
Like, your team has a really good road record. Seems like the guys like going out on the road. How do you feel they do and prepare for that type of challenge in a hostile environment?
And I just think that they really focus in on the road environment, like you said, of starting, well and not beating ourselves and trying to be good at the line of scrimmage and the communication offensively that's required to make sure that everybody's on the same page and that the snap count is good and that guys are moving when they're supposed to be moving. I think we've executed in some critical situations when we've needed to on the road, and those are things that are important.
Coach, why has this team been so good this year at seizing momentum and maintaining it? As you know, in football, it's not like basketball. There's no 10-0 runs. When you guys have been able to get momentum, you've been able to keep it on your sideline. What is the key been to you being able to do that?
I think the guys don't get too high or too low. I mean, hopefully we can understand that we can feed off each other, but also pick each other up. The defense has been doing that a little bit lately, and we have to do a better job of not making it be a sudden change, but making it be complementary. And when the offense is rolling, getting the ball back to them quickly, but also if the situation arises that we have to go out there and play defense, in a short notice, that we're able to do that as well. And then offensively, we can string some drives together, and the special teams continue to try to set the table.
Mike, you've had to face two of the better defenses in the playoffs, in the Chargers and Texans. Where do you fit Denver's defense in that?
Well, I mean, again, they'll be the best defense that we've played to date because it's the next one. I mean, that's just how this goes. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're good on the perimeter. They're really good up front. They have the athleticism, they have size. They put a lot of pressure on you. So, that's just how this thing goes. Each and every week, they get tougher.
Guys, to John's question, is keeping your composure something you preach and maybe rep in practice, or is that more about the guys that you have in the building?
Well, I mean, I think we try to preach it. I mean, we try to take guys to the line. I mean, we can't finish longer than the guy with the ball and play full tilt to the tackle. And, we try to take them to the edge and ask them to pull off and not do anything after the whistle and not be the second guy in and make great decisions. And sometimes that's hard. This is an emotional game. But for the most part, I think we've made great decisions, and guys have been able to do that and not do anything that would affect the team after the snap, after the whistle.
Carlton Davis.
And now, great moments in history.
We don't know where Eric is.
Parts unknown.
We're not sure. We're not sure where Eric is, but he's not on the show today.
I really want to know if he knows who the Patriots' new quarterback is.
I think that's fascinating. I'm so with Megan on that. I think there's at least a 50-50 shot that he does not.
He hasn't heard yet. Eric's vacations are kind of like the Patriots reporting to camp. Like, for the public, we know, like, camp starts on a certain day. But for the team, like, there's a day before that for conditioning, and then there's a day that for
rookies,
arrival.
injured guys,
and so Eric's
quarterbacks.
vacation are like, it's not just the days he's on the vacation. It's like he needs a day in the front end to get ready. He needs a day in the back end to reacclimate. So it's it's always longer than you think it is.
Got to get all his sweaters cleaned.
Yeah.
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered, 855-PATS-500, podcast at patriots.com is the email address. Mark in Fall River writes in, first, I'd like to express my condolences to Evan.
Oh.
We know his feelings on a team making the conference championship game and having to pick at the end of the first round of the next draft. Sorry, Ev. Maybe next year will be better. He doesn't like that. No. He doesn't like that.
I at least laugh when they make fun of me for saying CJ Stroud is good. That was good.
Second, I know it's been talked about extensively, but how much of a profit does Mike Vrabel look like when the very first thing I remember him saying this year is, we're going to take advantage of bad football. This was goal number one, and it has defined their season. I wonder if Vrabel has the same aura that was around Belichick when it comes to game planning, with players saying we felt like we knew what was coming. That can be helpful in attracting good players, and I think Vrabel has shown that this year. Have you guys heard players mention that?
A little bit. I think that it's more about motivation with him than it is
inspiration.
Yeah, sure.
You're not gonna motivate it. You're gonna inspire them.
Whatever. It's more about Is it inspire? Like,
that's what he says.
After the game on Sunday, not that they're not prepared and all that stuff, but after the game on Sunday, all the players kept talking about how much Vrabel was telling them, well, there's only one good defense that's going to be out there on Sunday, and it belongs to Houston. Like little things like that, just to kind of like get the defense motivated or inspired or whatever the hell term he uses, and stuff. I think that his days as a player help him sort of know what buttons to push in that regard. Whereas I think Bill got people confident because of how prepared they were.
Yeah.
And I think that there's maybe a little bit of a difference there. Not saying that they're not prepared now, but it's just he relates to them a little bit more, I think, on the human level.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
But I would imagine that Vrabel took some stuff from Belichick
in
terms of how to prepare.
The sort of details of the things they can't control, weather, altitude next week, those types of things. Like, he was asked yesterday about the altitude, and he already knew how long it would take to acclimate to altitude. So they already had researched all of that, and whether or not going out early was going to be worth it or not. That's very Belichick, right? Like that they know those kinds of like little scientific details.
Yeah, I clocked one thing too. Clocked it. Yeah. Noticed it.
Tracked.
Tracked. Vrabel said, I think it might have been his post-game press conference, talking about putting them in pads last week and how the players embraced that. And, it seemed a little bit more like putting those guys in pads was like a feeling out process and selling it on them, where I feel like maybe with Bill, it was like, we're in pads today. Shut the F up.
Of course we're in pads. What do you think this is?
North Carolina. Physical game.
Tyler in Georgia, with the turnover fest that was this past Sunday, I don't think I've ever watched a game that felt so never in doubt and constantly in doubt at the same time. Fortunately, I have zero concerns about this upcoming Sunday because there is absolutely no way the NFL will allow the Broncos to win. The logistics of having to move the Super Bowl to Denver at the last minute would be a nightmare.
I didn't know which way that was going.
That's good.
Good, Tyler.
It was very well done, but it could have gone a different way.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way the NFL is going to let the Broncos go and have to have Jared Stidham play in the Super Bowl.
That's where I thought he was going.
Yeah, but I like his little twist on that. That was well done.
Playing into the thread of it all.
Yeah.
Fred, you got to go to Denver. Are you going to do anything? You got any traditions there? You've been there, 100 times probably?
We've been there a lot. We're going to get in late in the afternoon. There's a street I like to walk down. It's got some nice shops.
Oh.
If I have time.
Yeah. Pick something up.
Yeah.
I also liked his point about the game. Like, I felt the same
never
way.
In doubt,
like,
constantly in doubt.
Yeah, it was never in doubt, and then they would do something dumb to put it right back in doubt.
Right.
Right. And then the Patriots would take another takeaway, and it's never back not in doubt.
The only way that they could lose was Houston scoring on defense.
No.
Right. And the Patriots kept giving them chances to score on defense.
But I just had never a doubt that the Patriots defense was not going to give up a 32-yard bomb to one of the Texans receivers. I never thought that.
No.
But a fumble 6 was definitely in play, and that would have flipped the game.
At the half, it's 21-10. I didn't think the game was in doubt at all, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't say like full nod, but like kind of what Evan said. Like, just don't do anything stupid. And then you go out and you do something stupid, and it's 21-13, and they have a chance to go in, and then Woody Marks fumbles it right back. And you're like, it was 21-16 in the fourth quarter, and the game technically was hanging in the balance. I never really felt like it was in the balance.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think that Houston was going to be able to put together scoring drives.
One thing I want to give Patriots fans some kudos for. A lot of people on Paul's shows in particular like to say that this crowd doesn't bring it. And I thought that both playoff games had two really good crowds. I thought it was loud here. I thought that They got the Texans to false start a couple of times. I thought that this was, as loud as I've heard it here in quite a bit of time. And it was noticeable that I thought the crowd was into it, and I thought it was. I'm not going to go as far as say this is now Arrowhead or Seattle or anything like that, but I didn't think that it was no advantage of playing these games at home, and I thought that the crowd did its part.
It's one of the more remarkable turnarounds of the season is just how bad at home they've been over the first last couple years, and even that initial game losing to the Raiders and then losing to the Steelers. You lose 2 home games in the first 3 weeks. And then to win 2 playoff games, pretty impressive. I remember saying, we got to get the home field advantage back, and they're winning games back here again. It's good.
Let's go to Pensacola. Willie. What's up, Willie?
Can't see the dog.
Willie, Pensacola.
It's completely blacked out.
No? Okay, goodbye, Willie.
What do you think about them on Ticketmaster blocking New England fans from buying tickets to the game?
Oh, I saw that. I think that's weak. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they have tickets available is weak, but that they're not allowing people outside of those zip codes to buy them. Whatever. If that's what you feel you have to do, okay.
That's how I got around it in 06 with the Chargers. They did the same thing, but I was a California resident at the time, so I was able to get those tickets.
Yeah. But, you've got tickets available, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe your fans aren't that
There's
great.
ways to go around now. We'll talk about it off the air.
Look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Give me an email. Shoot me an email.
Chris with a TIAN. What's up?
This is incredible. Just got to keep it going. Can't stop now. Victims of their own success, man. We got to take this thing all the way. This is fantastic. And I just, I wanted to call it just to thank ownership. We're here because of Robert. And Robert made a quick decision to move on last year, made a significant financial commitment. Yeah, he's got the money, but a lot of owners wouldn't want to spend the money to do what he had to do to pay off what we had to pay off to get off the coaching staff and bring in Braves, and then completely go out and dominate the free agent market and hit a home run with that. And we're here because of ownership. We really are. I'm so thankful to have him. We're so lucky to get Drake. We're so lucky that Vrabel was available. You look at the past few weeks since the season has ended, and it's been absolute chaos across the league.
I know.
And every week it's something, like McDermott yesterday, last week Harbaugh. It's such a whirlwind. And yeah, he's not perfect, and it's been a tough 6 years since Brady left, but this is fun, man. I haven't had this much fun in a long time, and just so grateful, and just got to keep it going. Got to keep it going. Can't stop now. Got to keep it going.
All right. Thanks, Chris. All right. I mean, we talked about it the other night. Every decision it seems they made in the offseason was the right one, starting with the decision to move on from Mayo and on to Vrabel.
Yeah.
And then Vrabel, and then bringing in McDaniels and Stretch and, all these people, all the free agents,
The free
draft
agency
picks.
class is unbelievable.
Just everything they've done turned to gold.
Yeah.
And that's rare.
Very.
That is rare.
To hit on, especially to hit on this many free agents and have them all be good. If we go back to the 2021 spending spree, Jonnu Smith was not a good signing. Nelson Aguilar
Jalen
was a pretty
Mills.
average signing.
Right.
Jalen Mills pretty average.
Godshaw, fine.
And some of them worked out. Hunter Henry was a good signing, and
Yeah, that was a good class too. But this one has been almost perfect.
I mean, even down to the Tongas and those types of guys that weren't
6th-round draft pick.
Big money expenditures. They've hit on the big ticket items with Milton Williams. They've hit on the small ticket items with guys like Tonga and Garrett Bradbury, having a bounce back year. They signed Morgan Moses, who was been the best tackle from that free agency class.
The rivalries uniform, I would add in there.
Yeah, sure.
Great decision.
Same thing.
Even some of the holdover players like Keyshawn Booty, career year. Jalen Hawkins, career year.
Who to keep? Who to not keep?
Chazon. Chazon's been the best player on defense the first 2 weeks of the playoffs.
Is he going bye-bye? Is he making himself enough money in this playoff that? Because you look at what Landry did. Landry played 11 snaps, and I already felt like edge was a huge need going into this offseason. And now you're looking at you really might need to sign 2. I don't think they're going to spend a ton of money this offseason, but if there's one spot to invest, I would definitely look at the edge spot, and I would definitely look at the safety spot.
I look
and
everywhere.
I wonder what kind of market Chaseon's going to have, and I wonder what kind of market Jalen Hawkins is going to have.
I think it's a question of with Chaseon, like, I guess, is this now who he's going to be? I mean, he's a first-round pick.
Well, that's the
so the talent was in there. Did Mike Vrabel? Is he just?
And this defense is good for him, right?
It's a good. It's a great scheme fit. Obviously, Vrabel is an outside linebacker. Is he giving him coaching that's pushed him over the edge? Because this was always in there. I mean, it was as a prospect. That's why he went 20th overall in his draft. So is this who he is now, or is he hot at the right time?
Right.
And you have to be careful about that. Now, Milton Williams did this last year.
Mike's point on that, I agree with you guys. That's going to be important. Does what he's doing in the playoffs, because I think you can make an argument that these have been his 2 best games. That's when everybody's watching.
Right.
So has that priced him out? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not that he's had a bad year. I think he's had a really solid year, but I think he's been really, really good in these 2 playoff games.
Pass rusher.
And then someone might look at that and say, we got to get that guy.
Yep.
Let's see what he does against Garrett Bowles.
Sure.
Going up against Ursery and whatever was at tackle for the Chargers. That's not exactly
Don't be disrespectful.
But if you do this against a first-team All-Pro on Sunday in the I don't care who's at quarterback. Like if he's beating Bowles,
got Kyle Brandt Jr.
Then that's going to go a long way. And so we'll see. But
I agree.
I think that he's back. I think that's a guy that I would probably look to keep and then probably draft a young edge to pair with him to try to groom with
I can
him.
see that.
Let Jennings and Ponder continue to
Right.
fill out the depth.
They're the 3rd and 4th guy, and
I think when we get to this end of the season, it's going to be kind of like the hockey thing where, and Harold Landry had knee surgery too. Like I just am waiting to hear what that actually was that he's been dealing with.
So
since
speaking
half the
of
season.
injuries that we may not know the extent of or not, Will Campbell, anyone concerned that maybe he's not healthy?
Oh, I hadn't thought about it.
I had thought about it. It's something that you have to keep in the back of your mind because you can't just rip the guy if he's playing on one leg. Like who knows? But I think the problem is that against like really good edge rushers, these were the same problems he was having when he was healthy. So I just
bring it up. I'm not necessarily weighing in either way. I'm doing that.
I want to give him
thing.
I want to give him the grace. I do, but all season long when he's played, that next level up in competition, he's had some of the same issues, especially high side rushers, like guys getting, around his edge with the speed and the length and that ability. So I wish I could say that it was all that, but it's kind of the same stuff that's been plaguing him.
I'm gonna fight and die to protect them with everything I got.
Got that right. Paul in the Colony wants to know, does Evan still think it's too soon to play in the AFC Championship game? Are we setting the franchise back for years to come like the Commanders did?
I really like the track of this.
See, now that was a better one than the draft one because what people don't understand about the draft is when they're picking 30th is my time to shine because you know who the first 5 guys are in the draft, but you're not going to know who's going to be drafted, once we get out of the first round. Most people, unless you're a nerd like me, are know a couple names here or there. This is the type of draft where people like Barth this is where you need him. You don't need him to tell you to draft Drake May and Will Campbell,
Jordan thinks that the resemblance between the 25 Patriots and the 01 Patriots is starting to get weird. A team led by a new coach goes on a magical run to the playoffs with the help of a young up-and-coming quarterback.
Second year.
With the help of a veteran defense dominating opponents in the playoffs, they win against an opponent in a snow game who many in the media thought they'd lose to. Their next opponent is an AFC rival who they historically have issues beating away from home. And their potential Super Bowl opponent, a veterans Rams team who boasts the top offense in the league, led by an experienced quarterback with 2 top wide receivers. All the media will pick the Rams and, of course, be wrong when the Patriots defeat them to win May and Vrabel's first ring, just like Brady and Belichick did in 01. Do I smell another dynasty?
It's a fair point.
I don't see a lot of similarities for 01 and this year. I
don't see any similarities.
I didn't say I didn't see any. I mean, he just named like a handful that are similar, but I don't really see a lot of
different
similarities.
vibes.
Yeah, I think it's been a different. I mean, this has basically been an offensive-driven team with a quarterback who's leading the way, as opposed to a quarterback who just kind of came in and was a game manager at the time. As much as I have all the respect for Brady, he was kind of leaning on defense.
Did it at times when he had to.
No, he was great in the clutch.
Yeah.
Again, another lack of a similarity. Like they haven't had those situations.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I just think it's really different. I think it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there's some similarities. I just don't see it as much as.
Which
as a lot of
offense
other
would you
people.
take?
That one or this one? This one. This
I
one
hear
moves the
what you're
ball.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And Brady was a 6th round pick versus being the 3rd overall pick in the draft, and that's a big difference too. But it's a big free agent class. You know, 2nd year quarterback.
Yeah, rookie left tackle.
Newish head coach. You know, great defense in the playoffs. I mean, I thought about it on Sunday when they beat the Texans.
No, people have been talking about it all year, and I don't think it's like not even close. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand what, you know, there was a good free agent class, all that stuff, 2nd year quarterbacks, but I don't look at it as being all that similar because of the style of the games. The way that this team is completely offensive driven, you know, during the course of the regular season. Now in the playoffs, the defense has dominated. The two playoff games, it's been a whole different story. If it was like this all year and you were kind of scuffling on offense and the defense, then I would say, oh, now I see a little more what you guys are talking about.
Sticks writes in defense of Drake May. I'm trying to figure out why they keep saying May played terrible. Yes, he had a few fumbles, but that they're leaving out the part that he also threw 3 touchdowns. Only one other person did that against that defense this year. If he doesn't throw those touchdowns, we lose. Look how other quarterbacks performed against that defense. Josh Allen, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. Pat Mahomes, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. Matt Stafford, 1 touchdown. I think they're making it a big deal about May when he played way better in the second half. That's when good players do it. So we're winning. So he's playing bad right now. Just
no one
insane.
said that he played really, really bad. We're saying he can't be as sloppy with the football going forward as he's been in these 2 games. The reason why you got away with it is because Will Campbell keeps recovering the fumbles.
Yeah.
You got away with it because you're recovering half of the fumbles. He has 6 fumbles. The Patriots have recovered 3 of them. Now, you could say, I mean, I think there's probably Bill Barnwell stats out there to say that's the randomness of a fumble. It's like 50-50. And that's probably true. But all it takes is one game where you fumble 4 times and don't recover any of them, and you go home.
Right.
Like you fumbled 4 times, you recovered 2 of them the other day.
Especially at strip sacks. It's hard to recover a strip sack because the defense doesn't know where
both
the ball
of them,
is.
Both of them, the Texans had in their hands with a guy scooping it to go in and wasn't able to quite secure it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not telling you that he played poorly. He made 3 unbelievable touchdown throws.
Sure did.
I don't care about the touchdowns the other guys. You scored, I mean, they averaged 17 points allowed in the game, and you scored 21. Like, you were basically in line to what Houston has been giving up to everybody.
Yeah, and unless a quarterback with those mistakes wouldn't have been able to do what he did, they'd fold.
Yeah,
he never lost his
That was
confidence.
what I give him the most credit for.
Yeah.
Is he didn't go in the blender.
Yeah.
Like he could have
Still
very
taking the
easily lost his marbles, and like Stroud did. Frankly,
frankly, he did.
But you know, this was his worst statistical game of the season by
Right.
far.
And I
lowest EPA, lowest dropback success rate, lowest QBR.
So,
and I know the passer rating. Sorry, I know the passer rating is 100. They don't count the fumbles in passer rating, so passer rating doesn't dock him for fumbles. So that's why the passer rating is still really, really good because he was 3 touchdowns to 1 pick. It's still going to be pretty high. But all the good advanced metrics, those ones count fumbles, count the 5 sacks, count all this other stuff that gets baked into all of it.
Yeah. And I would just say we're comparing him to himself. So he set a record or whatever. He set a Patriots record anyway for completion percentage, right?
Yep.
He hasn't been anywhere near that in the playoffs, the 2
below
playoff
60
games.
both games.
So, like, that's what we're talking about. We're not saying like he was CJ Stroud on Sunday, who completely took away any chance his team had to win. He was so bad.
Yeah.
And also, like, the whole turnover thing. I know we threw a pick, but the pick came on a Hail Mary in the last play of the half. So, like, the whole 5-3 in turnovers is really 5-2.
That doesn't count, right?
Like, that one doesn't really count.
No.
The Texans turned it over 5 times. The Patriots turned it over twice.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. Like, not to pump EPA's tires, but like EPA knows that was a Hail Mary at the end of the half.
Where does EPA live?
So it doesn't. It lives in the. It lives in the.
I got an
universe.
EPA stat for you.
It lives in the cloud. But that. So like
He looks
they
at
know that.
EPA the way like a little kid looks at Santa Claus. You know?
But that's kind of the way I look at it. Like it doesn't exist.
So that will.
Dear EPA, for this season, I would like an edge rusher.
It doesn't even make any sense. The EPA does not dock him for the pick. Okay, that's all I was trying to
So
get at.
I saw an EPA stat that was interesting. Again, this is not to suggest that Drake May was as bad as Stroud. It wasn't even close. He wasn't anywhere near as damaging to his team as Stroud was. But I think Mike Giardi wrote a piece today that said that was the third worst offensive EPA in a win all year for any team, regular season, playoffs. And the 2 games that were worse than that were the Raiders in Week 18 against Kansas City. And I don't know if you remember. You probably don't. I'm a loser, and I do remember these things.
What do you got?
When the Jets beat Cleveland in that game, when it was the game after they traded everybody, and they returned a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown. That's the only reason why they won the game. They couldn't move the ball the whole day.
It was just before we played them.
Those were the only 2 offensive performances in victory that were worse than the Patriots on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, this was
by EPA.
In his success rate, which just play success rate. This was the worst of his career, even worse than any of the games his rookie season. Which I mean, like that is.
So Evan, if
really
EPA
crazy.
was a person, what would EPA look like?
Smart.
Round glasses,
like some kid from MIT.
Round glasses, supercuts, haircut.
Yeah. I mean, something like that. Yeah. But like some people just like stats that put context like into the number instead of just
No, you stick up for your EPA.
Yeah.
Joseph from Texas. Just a few quick things I'm surprised haven't been said yet regarding Knicks' injury. Paul's statement that it always works out for the Patriots. Well, yeah. Does it need to be said at this point?
No, he said it.
I didn't even bother saying it.
Yeah. 2, regarding the Patriots' success, Fred saying that we broke the rest of the AFC East and sent them into chaotic disarray.
That's so true. We did.
I think I did say that yesterday.
What did I text? I text that the Patriots broke the whole AFC.
You did say that.
Not just the AFC East.
That's a little bit of a stretch.
Harbaugh and Tomlin, guys were there 18 and 19 years. They're gone.
Yeah.
Because of the Patriots.
Yeah.
And now McDermott
because of the Patriots.
is gone.
Not because they haven't
After
won anything
8 straight
in 10
years of playoff appearances and wins in the playoffs. I think it's 6 years in a row
Also
they've won
guy
a game.
that hasn't won anything.
Patriots broke them.
Yeah. And also, Paul texted me, said, my Bears did better than he thought they would.
I said, I got to give you Bears credit.
And I told him I'm proud of them. I'm proud of
You should
them.
send a video message.
That game was
There
crazy.
is
I might do a video shout out.
the scribes are up in the press box doing our scribing.
Oh, yeah.
After the game on Sunday, and the Bears-Rams game was up on the TV, and everybody's Caleb threw that touchdown at the end, and everyone was going crazy, like, "Oh my god!" Like, and then you're looking up from your computer, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
I was listening on the radio on the way home, and Kevin Harlan was doing the call, and he was like, "If I hadn't seen that, I wouldn't believe it."
Yeah, it was actually. I mean, I was actually talking to No Sox about Kevin Harlan, and I was kind of critical of him, but that was a great call of the last play.
Yeah.
But when he was like describing that, and he said he's back to the 40, and I'm thinking to myself real quick, like, this play started on like the 14-yard line. He's
Right.
back to the 40. I'm like, there's no chance. And he's like, caught!
Yeah.
I was like, that was amazing.
The third thing that he's surprised hadn't been said, Fred, with childlike enthusiasm, if we win this game, we go to the Super Bowl. But you seem a little worried about Stidham, Fred, which has me worried. I'm telling you, be careful, Patriots fans.
Paul,
Don't lose this one.
I mean, is Nick's
Patriots
getting
fans.
hurt, though, the ultimate? It always works out for the Patriots. I mean, has there ever been a bigger? It always works out for the Patriots than AFC Championship quarterback gets injured.
I was like going crazy in my apartment on Saturday when that happened. Like I'm just sitting there watching getting ready to watch the next game.
Oh, and by the way,
and Sean Payton just walks out to the podium and says, "Our quarterback's done for the year," and I was like,
it was
unbelievable. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
It's up there. I mean, I'd have to give it more thought, but like this run has been pretty pretty good for some of that stuff.
I was thinking to myself, you know,
Nico Collins might not have dropped half of those passes the other day.
Right.
I was thinking to myself about like what could have been.
Yeah.
And you go back to that fateful game where the Patriots won the last game of the Mayo regime.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know,
Don't
dropped
say
them down to number 3.
Don't say it.
Would May have been the quarterback of this team?
I knew he was going to say it.
Wrong draft.
I knew it. I knew
the
he was
wrong
going to
draft.
say it. I kept
The Will
telling him.
Campbell?
I kept.
That's
I
Will
kept wishing
Campbell's
that he
draft.
would
That's
say
right. I did it again.
Why does that happen a lot?
I don't
It's not just
know.
Fred either. It's like a lot of people screw up.
Oh,
the
I
May
am
and the
so
May-
sorry.
the
I'm
May
so
and the Campbell
sorry.
years.
I don't really understand. Like this is the most common.
Would Will Campbell be on the New England Patriots?
It's like Paul and I were standing on the train track and we just knew
Here
what
it
was
comes.
coming.
Yes,
because it's so common, and I don't
it is.
really understand why.
So let me ask you a question. So I think maybe I understand where the confusion's going. That year, 2 years ago, was there a chance that the Patriots could have had the first pick if something happened?
Yeah,
They hadn't beat
yeah.
Denver, right?
Yeah. Well,
They'd lost to
Denver.
Denver?
Yeah, I mean, like there was they lost to the Commanders.
It wasn't so simple. Though.
Yeah, because it's strength of schedule or
Yeah.
strength of
But
victory
it was
or whatever.
like Chad Ryland, who really struggled badly that year, made like a 56-yard field goal to beat Denver, and a lot of
Yeah.
people said
They
that
won in
cost them-
Denver.
Yeah.
I think it cost them like the
Oh,
number
really?
2.
I
the
heard
number
that that's
2 pick,
impossible.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people were complaining
yeah,
about.
like yeah.
They could have had Jaden Daniels.
If you had
but-
to pull one thread out, it would be that one. Like if they lose that game in Denver, then maybe they would have had the number 2 pick. I'm not totally convinced that they would have taken Daniels over May. So I
I really have no idea.
I don't know if that would have
But
changed.
if they had the
anything.
first pick, would they have picked Williams over all the other 4?
I think probably just because they probably needed to go
Would
with
you be
consensus.
in the same spot?
Would I pick?
No.
Caleb Williams?
If they had gotten the number 1 pick and they had taken.
If you bring in Josh McDaniels with him.
No, I'm saying if you had Williams on this team, would you be in the same spot?
Oh, so
maybe.
I think if you have, like I said, if you have Josh McDaniels.
I don't think that Caleb
I'm saying
would
everything
have,
is the same with the team.
Yeah,
I
think
wouldn't.
maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
think Caleb would have had the regular season that Drake May had. Like I don't think that he would be a potential MVP.
I would not say, as an example, he would be completing 72% of his passes.
Right, but I do.
Not the kind of
I do
player
think
he
they
is.
might have won a lot. I mean, the Bears won a lot of games.
They would have won a lot of
yeah,
games.
Yeah.
Like fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah.
That
They
be
would have
a
won a
lot.
lot of games, and I think they'd be in the same.
He's a really interesting player. Like he's such he's one of those never dead till the clock's
He's an
over kind of
enigma.
a guy. Like even when they got stopped on that 4th down, like they get the ball back, he's coming again. Like you can't stop this guy for long.
You know, I don't want to go down a track, but let's assume that the Raiders get
Sliding
Mendoza.
doors. All right. Okay.
Is that a real potent offense now?
Not yet.
No.
I mean, Brock Bowers and a a decent running back.
He could be great.
He could be if they had 5 good linemen.
Yeah.
Start of something maybe, but yeah.
I mean, he had
there's
a
lot.
better year than people think. I think he had more yards from scrimmage than any of the rookies, right?
Genty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he also got the ball more than anybody else. But I
probably fair.
I think that with Mendoza, that most of the people don't feel that he's quite in that tier of quarterback prospect.
I think he's going to be really good.
I'm not
think
saying
he
he's not going
plays
to be
in a
good.
really
I'm just saying that he's
smart.
I think he
Got the-
plays a real
got the
NFL
measure-
style.
he
I will say
does.
that. I think he I don't know how good he's going to be. I'm not really good at that, but he seems like he throws the ball with anticipation. He throws the ball before guys are open, like you have to do in the NFL.
He's got awareness. He's got the measurables.
I'm not
he's got
trying to
the
tell
arm.
you he's bad. He's going to be the number
No,
1
no,
pick.
I know
But
you're not.
I'm trying to tell you
Oh,
what
he
the
is.
draft.
Oh, you watch.
No, he's saying he's not Andrew Luck. He's not one of these generational talents coming out of college, and I agree with him.
I don't know where he would have been in Drake May's draft. I think that would have been a conversation. If he's that's how
If he was the QB for Penn State or Notre Dame, people would be calling him generational.
I mean, Indiana just won the national championship.
I know, but I'm still saying that he didn't have that team behind.
He's getting docked because
I don't know.
Indiana.
I don't know about that. I mean, that offensive line won the Joe Moore Award. Their defense was great all year. But I think that's just how he's being. He's more like people compare him more to like a Jared Goff coming out or someone like that, and they're comparing him to like, Caleb, Drake May,
Right.
Jaden Daniels.
Blue chip.
Yeah, no, I think he's really, really good. I'm not trying to say he isn't. That's just what the draft community is.
I think
thinks of
he's
him.
the kind of kid that like he hasn't even reached his potential because I think he's smart, accurate.
But that's how he's going to have to win the
Yeah.
league.
Yeah.
I don't, the physical tools, I don't know how immense those really are. You know, he's not really a runner. That's the questions that people have are more about the intangibles are off the charts. No doubt about that. But is he, physically, how high is his ceiling as a prospect?
Let's go to North Carolina. Kendall, what's up, Kendall? Kendall. It's a T-stop. Let's go to Manny in New Bedford. Hey, Manny.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Sorry, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here, and I hate to sound really harsh because I love Will Campbell, but when do the excuses stop? I remember we talked about it when we played the Browns, and he had a terrible game against Myles Garrett. Unexpected. Myles Garrett is just on a different level, right? And then I remember him making a comment after we played the Chargers about facing Khalil Mack, how he's getting paid a ton of money. I get that. Great players, but we drafted him 4th overall pick. So are we worried that he's not going to live up to that 4th overall pick hype? So I'm kind of just really worried about that.
A lot of people are.
I want to like the guy.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to keep making excuses for him or he's a rookie, But, again, we drafted you 4th overall pick, so you need to play to that expectation.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I just want to just defend myself a little bit.
Thanks, Manny.
I wasn't making an excuse for him when I asked if we thought he was healthy. I'm simply saying he had, I think, a sprained MCL, came back pretty quickly from it. He only missed the 4 weeks on IR. That's a quick turnaround. If I sounded like I was making an excuse for him, I didn't mean to. I was just asking for a friend.
I don't know if it's true.
If maybe he's not healthy.
I don't know if it's true, but I've heard people say that they put him on IR to save him from himself. Like they wanted it out of the question that he would come back too soon.
I just think that, and look, there's the nature of the beast, and it's not going to be done this way. But we told you at the time that not all 4th overall picks are created equal. Not every single 4th overall pick is going to be Lane Johnson or Joe Thomas or a Hall of Fame caliber player. In that draft, he was their best option in terms of day one starter at a huge, gigantic hole on the team. And for the most part, I would say that he's been average to above average and given them exactly what they needed. When he plays Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter and Myles Garrett, he gets beat. And a lot of guys get beat by those types of guys.
They do.
And I understand that he was the 4th overall pick, but I think that the context of the class that he was drafted 4th overall in, which has not been very good, by the way, across the NFL, is important. Now it's gonna get lost in the wash with him, I'm sure. But if he's, we always go back to Matt Light. Like if he's Matt Light, who had a lot of trouble with Jason Taylor, had a lot of trouble with Dwight Freeney, but 15 or 14 out of the 16 guys that he faced in the season, he did a really good job against.
And my hope with Campbell is that he wants it so bad that he's going to do everything he can in the offseason to get better. And he'll improve. This is his first year, and he'll get better. And he'll be fine. He'll be fine. But, some people say, well, you can be fine at left tackle or possibly an all-pro guard. Which would you rather do? And I go back to the whole Devin McCourty thing. They drafted him as a cornerback, and second year they moved him into safety, and he was I need
to know what my options would be at tackle.
I would rather him play tackle.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I would too.
If I have an option, I think I can do better at tackle. And if I could, then I'm feeling pretty good about him as a guard, and Wilson moving over also and playing center.
I love Will Campbell. I want him to be tackle.
That's why the caller is the way he is. I agree with you, Fred. I think his personality has been such that he's such a nice kid. We all enjoy talking to him. He says kind of colorful things. It seems like he's really well liked in the locker room with the Friday thing and the weather reports and stuff that he's been doing. I think that's sort of bought him a lot of goodwill among the media. And it wasn't until it got really glaring in these 2 playoff games that people have finally started saying, he's okay.
Yeah, I think that
and
conversation.
if it continues that way, you're going to have a conversation about it.
I think the conversation about the move to guard will continue into the offseason and will be a point that we talk about frequently. And I mean, I agree with Paul's point about it depends on who's available. But, just for me, if that did end up happening, I don't look at it as, they whiffed on the 4th overall pick. Like, did they get a good player? Is he going to start for them still? I'm still okay with that. But I
think
understand.
Evan's point about that is dead on. Like, who'd you miss?
Yeah.
Who'd you miss?
Yeah, right.
There's some good players. I'm sure. I'm sure Mason Graham's going to be a good, solid player. Like, I don't think
the
he's
only one that you could.
I don't
is
necessarily look at that as like a difference-making kind of player.
Yeah.
McMillan would have made
Tet
some
with
sense
Drake
if you
now
wanted
knowing
him.
what we know about Drake. That's a fit.
Yeah, but I think that it comes back to now you're going to be picking, let's say 32nd in the draft.
Definitely.
It's already a hollow position as it is, so you're not going to draft the starting left tackle at 32. That's going to be better than Will Campbell. Not most likely not. So are you going?
I have heard good things about the tackle class, though.
Are you going free agency? Are you going draft? How are you going to find a left tackle? That's because I think that Will Campbell's been serviceable.
Yeah.
When he goes up in competition against two of the best rushers in the entire league, he got beat badly, but he's been serviceable in all the other games this season that he's played in. So how do you do better than that? I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying how.
And to Fred's point, he can improve too. Like, and I mean, he's always going to be the size that he is. And like having watched him now for whatever it is, 19 games or 8, whatever that he was out. Like he's not a big guy.
He's
like,
going to learn
technique. Some other tackles that
he's
are
gonna
big.
He's going to learn the tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get
so,
better.
and especially for a guy who's athletic like him, and he'll develop some
get
savvy
better. I mean, that's what
to
guys
his
do.
game. But it's just ultimately he's always going to kind of be that size, and you can get by with it.
That's
but
why I don't want to just blanket move him.
but
I need to
just
know
don't
what my
think
options are.
This isn't the year to say we need an edge. And we also got to find a left tackle like that. I mean, we know how hard it is to get that position. So I don't know if they can thread the needle on that one.
Cody writes in, maybe I'm an eternal pessimist, but does this seem eerily similar to, the Broncos defense is really good, but no way Brock Osweiler or the ghost of Peyton Manning can win this game. 10 years later, it's on my mind. Yeah, listen.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a whole different situation. First of all, Peyton Manning, can we not, the ghost of Peyton Manning, the ghost of a Hall of Fame player. Like, I get it. He was, on his last legs and whatever. Brock Osweiler was their quarterback at the time. Like, even if this happened 3 weeks ago, I would have a whole different mindset with Jarrett Stidham. Everybody likes to bring out Nick Foles and Jeff Hostetler. Those guys were playing. They replaced the starting quarterback and at least got a couple of games in. And by the way, in both cases, bad games when they initially went in to replace him.
Because Foles
played one good game and then a really bad one.
He played the NFC Championship game against Minnesota, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the regular season. They played the last 2 or 3 games of the regular seasons, both Hostetler and Foles.
Yeah.
So by the time they got to the championship game levels, they had 5 or 6.
Team.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
This guy hasn't started a game in a long time.
Nick Foles, I don't know anything about the 1990 Giants offense. I'm sure you could enlighten me, Paul. But that Eagles offense in 17 was loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, they had an awesome offensive line.
And Foles' first game, he played really, really well. I actually looked it up a little bit.
Alshon Jeffrey was on the outside. Aguilar.
LG.
In the slot. That was a good team. Like that, Zach Ertz in his prime at tight end, and that offensive line was the best in the league
at its height. Right.
So, and I'm not telling you can't win the game, because Fred's right. You can rally and do all that kind of stuff, and your defense can do what the 15 Broncos defense did and win the game. That's what it would take. Like that. Like Jeff Hostetler went in and went 9 for 16 for 97 yards. 13 for 23 for 190 yards. That's how they won the games. 12 for 23, by the way. I want to really point this one out. 1990, 12 for 23 for 123 yards and a touchdown. And a 13-10 win over who? The New England Patriots.
Oh, really?
That went 1-15.
Yeah.
He didn't lose the games for them.
So, yes, I'm not telling you they can't win the game. I'm telling you I wouldn't expect, like Nick Foles did in one of his games, 24 for 38 for 237 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
If that happens, you're in trouble, right? But I wouldn't expect that. I would expect more of a Hostetler kind of a, just stay out of the way. Don't turn it over. Let's play to the defense. Let's do field position. Let's hopefully we don't need anything. And if it's close late, then maybe we can steal it.
If they had a running game and if they were like built that way, I would feel better. Or
That's
if
what
I
the
was a
Giants
Denver
did.
fan, I doubt that's what. Just digging into the Broncos over the last 12 hours, I'm like, they don't run the ball very well. And so, like, how are you going to take pressure off of Stidham in this game?
Yeah.
And how are you going to expect him to not? He can't be the hero. Like, you can't put the whole game on his shoulders. Other than the defense forcing 5 turnovers, or like they did last week.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like they have the type of offense.
Dexter in Santa Rosa, California says, I agree with Paul. There's literally no way we lose this game to Jarrett Stidham, and he was correct in stating that the Bears stink. It's always nice to get a double bye in the playoffs with this week and next week off. Patriots 42-13. Patriots versus Rams in the Super Bowl. We win our 7th, 38-35. Well,
that'd be awesome.
I hope Dexter's right.
Can I just correct one thing? I didn't say the Bears stink.
Yeah, you kind of did.
No, I didn't.
Cakewalk was the word I think you used.
I think the Patriots would beat Chicago. I said they're not that good, and you took that to mean that they weren't good.
Yeah.
And I said, but like there was like there was an emphasis on that. Like I think, like to Evan's point, Seattle, right? You think Seattle is like up here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
am I right?
Were saying
I think Chicago's down here. They're not that good.
Seattle's the best.
Correct.
Like
among the best in the
the
league.
85 Bears are not that good.
Like I don't think Max.
I'm comparing them to like the
they might have a better offense than the 85
Seattle
Bears.
Seahawks.
They're not
comparing them to
that good.
Not
right. They're not
carry
that
on
good.
rather than carry on.
Right. We can get to that.
Here we go.
Can I throw something out there in the last 10 minutes of the show that I'm glad is buried 10 minutes left in the show? Drake May in the bad weather.
And
like that like it's not supposed to be like
it's supposed to be nice
that bad in Denver, and then obviously the Super Bowl's in Santa Clara, where I think he's going to be,
fine,
totally chill with that environment. I don't want to like make this like a Drake May is bad in bad weather thing, because I think in those conditions on Sunday, like there are not a lot of quarterbacks that I think are going to throw great when it's snowing like that. And, the weather was just not good for either team. Herbert struggled to throw the ball in the first game too. Stroud struggled to throw the ball, so like, it's kind of like everybody kind of had a tough time with it.
From our perch in the press box, we didn't see a lot of wind. The snow wasn't sticking. It was about 32 degrees, so it wasn't frigid. Yeah. But that kind of wet type of snow in 32, that it gets to your bones. You know what I mean? It really soaks in. And maybe the ball was more slippery than we know.
There was just a couple of times.
I don't rule it out.
There was two or three throws
that would be tougher to play in than a heavy snow like at 20 degrees. That's a dry snow. You know what I mean?
There were 2 or 3 throws that he flat out missed, but that happens every game. So I'll give it to that. Him on that. I thought there were a handful of them where they just like, I'm just so used to him just dropping these throws right in the bucket. He had one to Kyle Williams down the left sideline he had a step on Lassiter.
Yeah.
And I'm just so used to Drake May just putting that. Now he put it right on Booty. So, that throw is cinematic. Like that throw is gorgeous. But like the one to Kyle Williams, he's made in his sleep.
Might that have been caught by Booty?
Yeah, I kind of put a little bit of on Kyle Williams too.
Yeah.
But that throw hits Kyle Williams in stride. That might be a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He definitely had a step. We were saying it live. We're like, he's got him as the ball was coming down. It was like,
to me, this is just one of those things that's
Yeah.
a little bit of a work in progress. And he hasn't had an opportunity to play in weather like this, and I'm sure he's never played in a game like that on Sunday. So let's get to next year and see if they're winning games. So he's still getting confidence and experience from these games.
I'm a Will Campbell guy.
Okay. Okay.
I just
Let's go.
How do we get back to Will Campbell?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because I wasn't listening. Bill's in Santa Monica. What's up, Bill?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Bill.
Good afternoon.
How's Sonny McLean's?
So I was at the game Sunday. Dude, I was at Sonny McLean's on Saturday. My brother called and said, I'll give you miles. Get on a plane. So I flew out to Boston and went to the game on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
And then now I'm back in Santa Monica. Sleep deprived, but very happy. So 2 kind of dumb questions about the beginning of the game and about the end of the game. Was there a point in the beginning of the game where CJ Stroud had made more completions to Patriots than Drake May? Eric?
What's the question? Is there a point in the game where Stroud had more completions than May?
Yeah, like
I don't know. Maybe. Who
was
cares?
there a point in the game where Stroud had thrown 4 picks and May had only had 3 completions?
I don't think
possibly.
so.
I don't think so. But I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one, like I said, these are trivial. Patriots' last possession, right? It's 4th and 13, right? At the Patriots 45. My buddy was like, they should have gone for it, which I think is crazy. But his argument is they weren't doing anything, and they could run out the clock. Whereas punt it. And I just figured that would be, you've only got a couple minutes left, but that would be a good argument for you guys to get into.
No, not really. I agree with you.
No? Okay.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
whoever said
Bill.
go for it there was
Like you got a 12-point lead with 2 minutes left, and you want to go for it on 4th and 12?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
punt it and make them go 80 yards.
Listen to this podcast. Yeah, I'm going to make them listen to this podcast. So, I think that's podcast settle arguments, right? So,
Yeah. Now, if you want to question some 4th down decisions, I would question some of D'Amico Ryan's. In the game, I thought 4th and 2 when they kicked the field goal to make it 21-13, 4th and 2 from the 7, I want to say. And then 2 egregious ones down 12 points in the 4th quarter. He punted twice on 4th down. The last one was completely inexcusable.
I think he had more faith in his defense scoring than his
But at some point, there wasn't enough time to do it, even if his defense did exactly what he wanted them to do, Yeah. And I think that's kind of why the Patriots had some success on that drive, was because the defense was like, you kidding me? We're back out here again? Like, we got to, literally, they're not even trying to stop him. They're just trying to take the ball away at that point.
The fourth quarter drive for the Patriots started at their 4 or something like that. That was some big boy running. Like at that point,
classy drive.
I agree with that.
Remind me to talk to you.
But I also give a little love there to Onwenu. Onwenu, they ran it right behind Big Mike,
absolutely,
3 or 4 times in a row. And I
love that.
Him and Morgan Moses opened up holes for Ramondre Stevenson to get him off the goal line.
This is what we're doing. Try to stop it.
That was that is an example of when you need the run game.
Yep.
And I know what Paul's point is that they were trying to go for the ball.
Everything you're saying is 100%. But I mean, that's what you want to shorten this game now and make sure that they don't have time to have 2 possessions, and they did exactly that.
That was some big
Spencer
boy
in
running.
Tennessee. What's up, Spencer? Spencer, you been to Edley's? Spencer.
Having a hard time today.
Yeah. All right. Todd's in North Carolina. Hey, Todd.
Todd will be there. He's always there.
Todd.
Oh, even
wow,
Todd?
even Todd's not there.
The phones are
Verizon down again.
Come on.
What's going on?
Shoot, come on now. Drake.
All right.
I think you need to work.
A phone line opened up, and it's Kelly in Dallas. What's up, Kelly?
Kelvin Turner.
Kelvin. Sorry.
Yes.
All right.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all. I want to come down there, and I want to help you. I want to be the assistant head coach. But let me tell you something about Denver.
Okay.
I'm in Dallas. Dallas Cowboys could never beat Denver, even on when Denver was bad and good. Denver gonna try to jump ahead of y'all. But what y'all need to do, y'all need to put pressure on Denver, offense and defense, and they line. You keep put pressure and let them not score first, second, and fourth quarter. Y'all have to score.
I like that.
Touchdown.
Shut them out.
Shut them out 3 quarters. I like our chances. Yeah.
Yes. Shut them out three quarters and really shut them out on four quarters. Because Denver is a sneaky team. How they beat Buffalo, that was unbelievable. They would try to come back on you. You have to shut the offense down, the defense, and the line. And then y'all have to put screens and blitzes on them all 4 quarters.
Okay.
Stay on them to tell you behind up.
Okay.
Because
I'm going to pass these notes off.
Yeah, I was going to ask,
down for
Kelvin,
Rich?
do you have this in writing? Because we'll pass it along.
The podcast.
I wonder if anyone's ever lost while shutting a team out.
Mike Vrabel used to be with the Tennessee Titans.
That's it. Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
Jeff Fisher, too. Jeff Fisher took the Tennessee Titans to the Super Bowl, and they lost against the Rams. But I'm going to tell y'all, Denver, the Rams, or Seattle, y'all got to do this to them.
Okay.
Because they're stink. They will jump ahead of you quickly, and they're trying to put y'all not score.
It sounds like a blueprint to me. Thanks for the call.
It's actually been the Patriots.
Yeah.
They want to jump
Good
ahead.
stuff. Yeah.
And they've been able to do
Denver's
that.
been coming back. That's the Denver's been
Zach's in Boston. What's up, Zach?
Don't let him score.
I've seen Denver win that game 12 times this year.
Zach in Boston.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, question for you guys. Obviously, Drake had a couple fumbles, and how much do you put on that on Will Campbell in the line? And then also, do you really think Will Campbell's 100%, or do you think he's just muscling it through the playoffs? Interesting question. Should we move to Velo, where he's done a really good job for the time he did start?
I mean, listen, one was a botch play that he dove and got it punched out. That's on him. And the second one, the line, collapsed, but you just can't throw the ball there.
You got 4 of them, and I would say
you gotta
2 and
eat
2.
it. Yeah.
I would say 2 and 2.
Thanks, Zach.
The one where Will Campbell had he had chip help, like I kind of split the baby there a little bit. Like your internal clock's got to start ticking. Like you know. The one that Will Anderson blew by Will Campbell, that one is not on him. So I would say like 2.5. PFF had it at 2. The one backed up and then the punch out on the scramble. I think the one with the chip help, like you gotta 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Like at some point the ball's got to come out when you know who you're going up against and you're kind of managing it.
It's last call. Brandon's in Syracuse. What's up, Brandon?
Hey guys, how we doing today?
Good.
We doing?
Very good. So yeah, I'm from Camden, New York, but I work out of Syracuse, and I'll tell you what, being a Patriots fan surrounded by a bunch of Bills fans is probably the greatest moment of my life right now. I'm 26 right now, so I've been dealing with the Patriots at a great run for my whole life. But I just wanted to leave you guys off with a couple things here. With the offensive line, I feel very confident about the right side. Worked really great. I'm not going to lie. Jared Wilson and Will Campbell have got me on my toes the past couple games, but I still have a lot of confidence in them, and I think that Will Campbell can bounce back. And Drake May, 100% confident. I think he can bounce back. He doesn't let much break him or anything like that. But go Pats! And I love your guys'.
So Brandon, with all the Bills fans up there, how are their fingers? Because that window really closed shut really hard.
Oh yeah, they're sore. They're
Yeah.
sore. Listen, I deliver with Carvana, and about everybody that I deliver to is a Bills fan, and I make it known that I'm a Pats fan. So I get insights from them all the time. So it's great. It's been great the past couple weeks. They've been very sore.
Sore.
Okay. Well, I love to hear that. Thanks, Brandon. All right.
Sure. Thank you guys.
Okay. That's going to be it. We're on to Wednesday. Catch 22.
Tomorrow
at 10 with Barth. How's Barth doing? I always ask.
Very excited.
Trying to get to Denver.
Yeah, he wants to go to Denver. And I told him, I was like, let's get you to the Super Bowl.
Is he going? Is he traveling?
On Sunday at the press box, he came up to me after the game, and it was giving me his pitch to go to send him to Denver, and I was like, "Why are you pitching this to me?"
How, like, you can bring a dog on a plane that's like a
stowaway.
No, not a stowaway.
You guys get mad at me when I make fun of him.
Like, can you claim him as a therapy person and like have him sit in the
I don't
aisle
know,
or
Fred.
something?
Can I? Like, this is more a question for you than it is for me.
Well,
He's on the team flight.
If you feel you need him, we can make accommodations. Like put a little
I see what you're
red
saying.
vest on.
It is a long flight, so like maybe I need like an emotional support animal.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Not Atlas though. Can't bring him.
Emotional
All
support.
right. Him and EPA. We'll save a seat for EPA.
That's gonna be my next dog. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.